Here we are.
Welcome to Tuesday night. We are the Raconteur Society, coming to you live once again on a Tuesday evening in the middle of the Midwest for a little bit of gaming, tabletop that is. And we are playing Deadlands Classic tonight. We actually started shortly after 7 o'clock as opposed to our normal 8 o'clock. Or 7:30.
8 o'clock.
Or whatever.
What? Actually, it's 6:30.
And quick, right off the bat, thank you, NPC number 8.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank
You were gifting us before we even had our intro done. So thank you so much for that.
Cool.
We are currently live on TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, and Clapper. So Clapper has the crappy view, though. So if you're on Clapper, jump over to the other ones. You're going to see a lot better view of what's going on. And,
Multiple cameras.
Yes.
and tonight for gaming, we've got Dale, Anastasia, Dennis, Brad, Mike, and me. I'm Big Rob, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to throw it on down to Dale, who's running the game tonight. He's playing the Marshal, which is what you call a DM for the Deadlands Classic game. So Dale, take it away.
Alrighty. Do you guys want a simple, quick recap? Last time was a lot of role playing, but that's sometimes the best.
Yeah, but it might be bad.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you're in the cabin. No, okay. So basically, last time, this is something amiss in Boldbridge, which is the little town you guys are at. Felix got a letter from a deputy here in Boldbridge that said there have been some mysterious deaths, and it seems to be like the sheriff and this Dr. Namaroff, who is like the town doctor and also owns like a mental institution here, have been trying to cover this up for some reason, and he thought Felix might be interested in looking into it because it is very unusual circumstances. So Felix asked you guys to go down on his behalf. You go to Boldbridge. As you enter, there's this huge, looks like kind of abandoned mansion with a bunch of statuary in the backyard and around the house. You show up, kind of talk to the sheriff. You go to the sheriff's office. Sheriff didn't really want to talk to you, and you guys needed to keep this quiet. Bo used his silver-tongued devil to kind of get him to kind of like not kick you out of town and maybe get a little sort of information. But outside, you met Deputy Marsh, who is the guy that wrote the letter to Felix to send you guys down. And Deputy Marsh has told you, kind of given you a muttered signal to meet him at the barn by the church at about 7 o'clock tonight.
Hey,
So-
kiddos.
John Smith has joined us.
Hi, John.
How's it going,
How are you,
John?
bud?
So the church in town is still there, but the priest who owned it was a Catholic church. He passed away recently, and they're waiting on a new priest to come in and take over. He should be here anytime. But you guys also met another newcomer to town. He introduced himself as Paul Heights, and you find out that 2 of the last murders were his father. Well, it was his brother and his girlfriend or fiance were killed. And then his father came here to look into that and also got killed. And now Paul is here to find out what is going on.
Let me work on it.
He received a letter from his father. He was told that it was heart failure. That the Dr. Namaroff declared that he died from heart failure, and they've already buried him. And Paul got a letter from his father, and it was like a 3-page letter. And it's like, no, that's not heart failure. You don't write a 3-page letter while you're having a heart attack, usually. And it ended with him trying to uncover what's going on, and he was turning to stone. Something had turned him to stone. So anyway, you piece together that while Julius, the father, was here, he stayed in Hugo's house. At one point, he was accosted by some townsfolk, where he apparently was in there, and apparently the girl's father, maybe, I think you kind of pieced together, and some other guys from town came in, threw a burning log through his window, and then confronted him to get out of town. They didn't want him here. And he pretty much stood his ground, and then the sheriff came in, kind of broke it up, probably had some words with him, like, yeah, you might want to think about leaving, and then that was it. Later that evening, Julius heard something coming from up the road toward that abandoned house, which you found out was called the Miller Mansion, and it's supposedly haunted. Apparently there was some
nasty stuff.
yeah, there was some bad stuff going there, and
Deaky deaky.
but you do notice, or you did hear from the hotel manager that there were statues, but every once in a while it seems like there's another statue, but nobody goes up there to look. Nobody wants to go up there, but it seems like there's more statues up there. So anyway, later that evening, apparently Julius is in the house. He hears something, and it draws him toward the Miller Mansion. The house is kind of on the edge of town, and if you go up through these woods about a mile, there's the Miller Mansion. And you can tell he had footprints that he went up there, and when he came back, they were heavier. And apparently that's when he sat down to write this note about himself turning to stone. So you also, through the hunch, realize that two men came in after that, and the sheriff was there, and so was this Dr. Namaroff. And the sheriff broke the pen out of his grip because he had actually turned to stone, apparently, and then they carted him away, and apparently you found out, using your location for your blessed thing, he is buried in, like, the Boot Hill section of the cemetery. His grave is marked, probably not even with a name, but he's buried over there, and Paul is pretty upset, obviously, about all this. He doesn't know why he's getting the runaround. He told you guys he wanted to go. He had to go confront Dr. Namaroff. He's not going to say anything about turning to stone. He just wants to know why he wasn't notified about his father's death and why they buried him so quick. You guys tried to talk him out of it, but he was dead set on going. So Copperhead went with him.
And now we'll never see either one of them.
To the Boulevard.
I liked Copperhead.
I know. He was a swell guy.
The Boulevard Mental Institution, which is run by this Dr. Namaroff.
Very progressive for the 1880s.
Especially around here. So basically, they go off to do that. You guys spent some time doing some more tracking and figured out that on the way up, you saw this through your hunch and you guys found it. You followed that trail that he took to the Miller Mansion, and there was a little shrine there. It looked almost like somebody built like a little fancy birdhouse.
In my soul.
Yeah, and we're leaving trinkets there. You guys kind of examined it and realized that it really ended up being nothing. Apparently somebody in the last 10, 15 years built this thing and was leaving trinkets there as, like, they believed it was some sort of Celtic belief. Like, oh, I think this, and it could have been a kid, it could have been somebody superstitious. These woods had a dangerous reputation at that point, apparently, so they built this little shrine and were leaving trinkets to, like, appease the forest or keep the bad spirits away. There's nothing magical about it. It was just somebody who believed in this enough to do that. So it was just on the way up. So,
Thank you, Austin Thomas, for sharing the video.
hey, thanks.
Hey,
Done, bud.
thank you.
So anyway, that's pretty much where we left off. It's probably about 6 o'clock by the time all this gets done. So as you guys kind of get back to the house, you do hear probably horses approaching, and you do see two riders coming up to the house. In the sunset, it's kind of hard to make them out, but you know the silhouette of Copperhead well enough. And then the other horse, you know,
there's a horse that's Copperhead's been turned into a horse.
No, the horse is riding Copperhead.
Oh my God!
He's like, I've had enough of this crap. So
Your turn.
Copperhead comes back on his horse, and you see what looks like probably Paul on his horse, but there's somebody with him. Huh?
Elves.
Yeah, there's somebody riding behind him. So as they pull up outside,
Hear the brakes squealing as they stop.
you see Copperhead and Paul dismount, and Paul is helping a young lady.
Wait a minute. Paul dismounted Copperhead?
Yeah, sure.
Oh God.
Yeah. Paul is helping a young lady off the back of his horse.
Young lady.
The
Yeah.
young lady was mounting the horse. Gotcha.
So you guys are in the house. You hear him pull up. You see him pull up outside. What do you do?
Go out, meet them.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot the woman. She's really suspicious.
Okay. You shoot her, and she's like a T-1000. The bullet goes through her.
And now we're in second place.
And now we're going around. Okay, so yeah, you go outside, and Copperhead's kind of tying his horse off to the pole, and Paul's helping the young lady, and he comes up and he's like, well, I spoke to Dr. Namaroff. This is Laura Hoffman. So anyway, he's like, this is Laura Hoffman. She's actually works at the Institute, kind of questioningly, and she's like,
The Institute?
Is she attractive? Is she attractive?
she is pretty.
Down
Oh,
She
yeah.
does have pretty.
All right. She has pretty.
She does have pretty.
Well, I do too. That don't matter. Wait, do I have pretty? No, I don't. Never mind.
Okay.
You just think you have pretty.
I just act like I do.
Yeah. He's actually got that wart on his nose that he just combs the
Yeah,
one,
two of 'em while he's
combs the
fighting.
one hair.
It is a very proper hair. It's a French tickler sort of thing. Ooh la la.
Oh, ho, ho.
So anyway, she kind of nods to the
See, now
group.
you need this rig between you two.
She kind of nods to the group. And so I spoke to Dr. Namaroff, and still getting the runaround from him. So there's no help there.
Hello, ma'am.
Greetings, ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. You notice Paul's kind of like got his arm out with her arm in it, and they haven't really let go yet. So
Oh, is that his?
nope, you don't know who this
Oh.
is.
Well, we do have
Saying-
a couple ministers with us if you need a minute.
We met 10 minutes ago. Let's get ahead. You guys, you got to find somewhere.
Now,
It's the
hold on now.
I gotta leave the house for 2 minutes.
Now, wait a minute now.
That's happened before.
Gentlemen and ladies, we must consummate the marriage beforehand to make sure she is truly what she said
But they
she
got to
is.
get married first, Bo. You gotta
No, I have to make sure she is what she is.
Oh, right. We're using those Middle Eastern rules here. Right? Make sure.
Now watch out. Now let's go over here in
Gotcha.
Middle Eastern Illinois. Yeah.
Right, Midwestern is Midwest Eastern. You know, Egypt, Egypt, Illinois.
Here's your foot. You may want to put it back on your feet.
Nah,
That was called Cairo.
Cairo.
Yeah.
syrup.
That is a town in Illinois. Anyway, I'm going to sleep with the woman.
All that for that statement.
You're welcome.
So anyway, he says, this is Laura Hoffman.
Miss Hoffman, it's an honor.
Thank you. She kind of looks around at the group like, oh yes, this is an odd group.
Really me.
He says, I believe you gentlemen are meeting Deputy Marsh later this evening or here very
He
soon.
says that, or
This is Paul.
oh, okay.
So I understand you're meeting Deputy Marsh at the.
That's a secret. Boom. Shoot.
He's a T-1000.
Yeah.
Well, it's still fresh as far as I'm concerned.
Olaf's got a date with him, so
But he says,
it might be courting.
well, I think we'd like to join you because I think there's some important information that he's like,
Frankenstein.
Dr. Meister needs to impart to the group.
Okay.
Copperhead's like, a lot happened at the Institute, a lot of talking. So,
Okay.
So you only left
Are
like
you all right?
5 minutes
You
ago.
all right?
yeah, why?
You're not turning to stone, are you?
Not yet.
Okay. You want to get? You want to get?
I don't want to get stoned. No, I'm not into that.
What time is it? I pull my pocket watch out and check the time.
Yeah, it's only like 10 after 6, so you've got like almost an hour before you need to be there. Unless you want to go early, set
You know,
up
it's better to
ambushes.
show
or-
5 minutes earlier than 10 minutes late.
Well, I for one, I'm gonna go head down to the church.
I will come to you.
Copperhead. So, yeah, I'll go with you.
Well, I'm sure God is just overjoyed with the thought of you coming to church with me.
I have been coming to church. I'm a faith of 2 now. Don't you know that?
Harry
You
Bucket.
converted me.
I thought you were in the back of the church doing something else.
Well, I was, but it just I got the foot in there. The church is not burned to the ground.
The only reason he's got a faith of 2 is because he gives confessionals every day.
Well, every hour of the day,
So anyway, who all wants to go to the church early?
we're going to the church.
Oh, what the hell?
All right.
The church or the barn?
I'm going. To
Well, the
church.
barn is next to the church. So,
I guess we're going to have a party in the church.
okay. It's a rave. So you guys are going to head out.
Vampires in there. I know what this is.
Oh, we ran to Karen.
Paul and Laura are going to stay here and chat for a bit, and then they'll meet you at the barn in a half an hour.
we better
He's like,
not leave
give me
these
at
two
least
alone."
20 minutes. Yeah, just 20 minutes. I'll be there. that gives me time to get dressed again. So no, they're gonna stay and chat, talk some more. Apparently they have some things to discuss. So and
I'm
then
not comfortable by doing that. I think we should stay with somebody should stay with them.
Well, Copperhead, you're an NPC at this game. Why don't you stay here?
stay behind if you want. That's fine.
All right.
You stay here.
Benched again.
So, do you mind telling us while they're inside who exactly is she and
All right.
what this all
Yeah,
about?
let me fill you in. Don't get any ideas. So basically, we went out to the Bolivar institution, and he went in to talk to Dr. Namaroff, and I stayed out in the, lobby, vestibule, whatever you call it, waiting room.
Gazebo.
He went into the office, and I sat there, and there was a fella, looked like one of them orderly fellas, big guy. It's kind of watching me. I don't know what he was doing, so I kind of gave him the stink eye, and he gave it right back. As we were sitting there, this other fellow, this doctor, comes up and introduced, asked if I needed anything, and I told him I was waiting on a friend with Dr. Namaroff, and he introduced himself as Dr. Meister. And greeted him, and he actually told the orderly, I'm sure you got other duties to perform, why don't you go do them? Well, the guy left in kind of a huff, and he asked if I was there to see Dr. Namaroff, or I said, no, a friend of mine, a recent acquaintance, is in there talking to him, and he asked, if you don't mind, who is it? And I told him it was a man by the name of Paul Heights, and he was just like, related to Hugo and Julius? I'm like, well, Julius is his father and Hugo was his brother, and he just got this concerned look on his face, and he's like, does he know about what happened? I said, well, he obviously knows they're dead, but he doesn't think it was a heart attack, and he got really kind of conspiratorial and was like, well, it wasn't a heart attack, but I can't talk about it here. And he said,
Let me guess, he wants us to meet us at the barn
And so
at 7 o'clock.
I hope you said
or 7:20.
Yeah, 7:20. I
Yeah.
think that's better.
he actually said he's been talking to Deputy Marsh about this last couple days. So he knows that Marsh sent that letter, and I said, Marsh wants to meet us in the barn around 7 o'clock, and he said, I have some information that might be very helpful to you gentlemen, and I'll meet you there as well. And then, just as we were finishing that conversation, I heard Dr. Namaroff call for somebody. She said, Miss Hoffman, would you come in here? And this lady comes around the corner and walks in there, obviously Lara. And next thing I know, she's escorting a very nonplussed Paul Heights out of the office. And he kind of slams the door. And
I see.
kind of ways to see what happened. Dr. Namaroff himself never came out. And I stood up to leave, and Dr. Meister shook Paul's hand and said, I'm Dr. Meister. I'd like to speak to you soon about some dealings. And Paul was very interested, and he said, I'll speak to you very soon. A good day, gentlemen, and started to walk down the hall. Well,
Good day to you, Michael.
Laura started to escort us out the door, and she
Bacon?
suddenly turned and said to Paul, I really want to help you, and I think I know something is going on, and I think they're protecting someone, but I don't know who.
Now, one moment. Now, is this the moment she showed him her breasts?
No, that's when I showed him my breast, but he wasn't interested.
No. Yeah. Well, I am.
But she
This is why
said,
we don't send Copperhead with anybody.
she said, I will be leaving work here in about 10 minutes. My day is done. May I speak to you? And I said as a joke, but not here. And she goes, it would be best not to. So we waited around, got our horses together rather slowly, and rode off. And about 5 minutes later, she met us on the road out of the institution, and she rode with Paul back, and we came back here. So apparently there's a lot more knowledge at the Bolivar Institute than we thought. So it sounds like we're all going to be meeting at this barn party to find out what the heck's going on.
We know good shindig is always a good thing.
So I don't know if they need somebody to stay with them, but I gladly will if you need me to.
I'm just concerned about them being left there alone with everything going on. I'll stay with you.
I'll stay. Ain't nobody gonna bother us.
I won't
Bobby
believe it.
does much better even with the note from Brad. And thank you, Joey Patain and user 43445834983.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, prisoner. Well done.
Anastasia, everybody.
Yay. So anyway, Copperhead's gonna stay behind. He said, I'll ride with them when they're ready. We'll meet you guys at the barn. So if you guys want to head out, you're more than welcome to. You can kind of ride through town, or you can go out around town.
Oh,
It's
around
kind of on
town,
the
definitely.
other side.
Yeah,
So
don't want to bring attention.
you guys get to the barn in short order. The church is just a nice small church. It's nothing extravagant. It's nothing fancy, but it's serviceable, and it's not an eyesore or in disrepair or anything like that. So as you kind of go around the church, you do see a barn back there that's kind of closer to the groves of trees, so it's almost a little more secluded in a way. So a little bit off the path, and you guys can ride out there and get to the barn if you wish. You don't see anybody out here. The churchyard is pretty good size churchyard. I mean, there's no like the neighbors are like 2 feet away. What are you going to the barn for? It's pretty nice
Probably
yard.
say we leave our horses at the church. And walk
Yeah,
over.
I'll hitch at the
I heard it check
church,
the church.
and I'll go see if I can get inside.
Okay.
If it's not locked or...
It's not locked,
Okay.
so you can walk inside.
I'm just gonna walk in and check it out.
Okay.
and-
It's a very simple but nice church. You know, you get the rows of pews and the pulpit up the front, and off
pews.
to the side there's like 2 rooms. One looks like kind of a green room,
me.
a ready room where they put the robes on, get
Yeah,
ready.
me.
The other one looks
Anastasia,
like it's a
that's me.
small little bedroom. There's also confessionals
That's me.
inside the door. So inside the smaller room, a lot of it looks like you can tell it's been packed up.
We get into war.
A lot of stuff missing, like personal items. So you can see, like, there was a framed picture somewhere on one of the walls. You can tell by the dust line it was there for a while, but somebody's taken it down. That kind of thing.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's in good order. Nobody's been in here to vandalize it or nothing like that. But nobody's around. Vigo the
It's
Butch.
Vigo.
So anyway, yeah, you can look around and nobody's here yet. Nobody seems to be waiting for you or anything like that. So what do you guys do?
I'll probably wait there in the church.
In the church?
Yeah. And
Okay.
Until I
Keep
get
an
a
eye on
little
the
bit
place.
closer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll find a window in the church to look out and
Okay.
see if I see anything.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Well, we'll actually go up to the sanctuary and I was heading a prayer.
All right. Bo instantly catches fire. The succubus appears. Tell me more.
And I'll suddenly drop to the ground, clutching my heart.
So, all right. So, yeah, you guys sit in the church for a bit. After about 20 minutes, you do hear horses at a nice leisurely pace coming up, and you
At a
see
leisurely place.
you see 2 horses riding up. It's obviously Copperhead and Paul and Laura. And probably right about that time, you see as they ride up, Copperhead pauses and instantly drops his hand to his gun and kind of pulls it out and look. And as you look, like they're coming from the way you guys came, he's kind of looking the other way. And as you look that way, you see somebody walking up in the dark.
Oh, I'm gonna dive out of that church real quick.
Okay. So you're gonna jump out of the church, guns drawn?
Well, no, but I'm gonna come out. And,
Okay, well, you said dive out of the church. I'm like 2 guns for pow, pow, pow. Hot fuzz style, or
walk over to,
what do you mean?
I'm gonna walk out of the church over to Copperhead.
Okay.
Okay, can I see this from the barn?
Oh yeah, you were in the barn? Yeah, you see somebody walking up kind of toward the barn and not the church.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll be outside waiting.
okay. Guns drawn or just wait?
I'll just wait.
Okay. So you walk out to Copperhead, you draw a gun or okay. As you walk out the door and you're at the barn, you see the person who's walking toward the barn kind of stop and look toward the church, which is, about 30 feet, 40 feet away. Kind of pause and look, and you instantly know, you can tell it's Deputy Marsh.
Oh, well, then.
And he's just kind of like got his hand near his gun, like with one hand up, like, whoa, whoa. He's not saying anything, but it's like he saw Copperhead like draw a gun. And he's like, do I need to draw or I'm friend?
I think that's
You're
on,
okay,
on
Deputy.
Marshal Copperhead. You can put your gun away.
He's like, yeah. Sorry, get jumpy around the law, I guess.
Let's all head over there.
So you guys in the church hear that. You can all. So you guys gonna leave your horses there and just go to the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys all walk toward the barn, mouth.
Yeah, I'll probably grab my horse
Grab your horse and take it over
to the barn.
Okay. So yeah, Copperhead's probably gonna ride his horse over
The
there.
food we sent didn't kill him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not yet.
Although the food he sent us is gone forever.
Well, them Chicago guys liked it very much.
So you guys move over to the barn. Some of you take your horses, some of them don't. That's fine. As you get into the barn, and he kind of like watches and kind of lights one of the lanterns inside, you do hear a knock at the barn door, and he's like, I think I know who that is. And he kind of opens it up, and Dr. Meister comes in. He's a taller fellow, kind of a thick mustache. It's kind of salt and pepper gray. Hair's kind of a little bit long in the front, short in the back, but he kind of wears it swept back. Wearing like almost like a tweed suit. A little older.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah, kind of like Dr. Henry Jones. So he kind of walks in. He's basically got some like a folder, like a satchel kind of thing, and he also has what looks like a small doctor's bag. And he kind of
He's packing.
he's looking like as the door opens, like checking behind him and looking around. And he's like, he walks in.
Simon says, many thanks. There will be a second attempt at the care package.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Simon.
Prince Simon.
So basically, you guys all kind of get in the barn. The barn there's no horses or no livestock in here. It looks like it's not been used in a while, but it's a quiet place, and probably the fact that it's not been used in a while is why he chose this. Nobody's going to come in here. So he kind of lights a couple lanterns and says, well, folks, I see you gentlemen are the ones that Felix sent, I'm assuming.
Yes, indeed.
Obviously.
Aye.
Some unusual things have been happening around here. I don't know exactly where to start.
Could it be with somebody turning to stone?
They kind of nod, and Dr. Meister's like, yes, that's the unusual occurrence, and it's been kept quiet around here.
Any reason why?
Could be to avoid panic. And Laura says, either that or Dr. Namaroff is trying to protect someone. I don't know who it would be.
Dr. Namroth's the one that causes it to happen then.
Dr. Meister's like, he didn't cause this to happen, but he's covering up. He and the sheriff are not saying anything about it to anyone.
So he's not the one causing him to turn into stone.
No, not that I can tell. I don't think so. He seems just as shocked as we are, but he seems more playing his cards close to his vest about it.
Who exactly does he do that?
Dr. Namaroff basically runs, he is the administrator of the Bolivar Mental Institution. He helps the infirm, especially those with psychiatric problems. It's an innovative field, and I came here about a year and a half ago to assist. So I've been with him for a while. We work well together, but I'm not sure what's going on with this. These mysterious deaths have been happening for the past 5 years, from what I understand. Deputy Marsh is like, yeah, there've been. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, yeah. There it is. It was about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago is when the murders started here. These particular murders.
Is this after the hangings?
Oh, we were just passing it.
Yes, after that.
I see.
A few years after that, actually. That happened. The Miller incident happened about 20 years ago.
Chocolate would be a bargain price if that was good. Simon.
Shock therapy at bargain prices.
That's the Raconteur Society.
Yeah. I said about 4 years ago these murders happened. I was told by Sheriff Nolan to keep it quiet. He and Dr. Namaroff didn't want anybody to panic. After the first murder, it was very unusual. And then another one happened. And then a year went by and another one happened.
So who was the first one to die?
It was a gentleman by the name of Werther, I believe it was. He was a drifter. Just kind of came into town, stayed for a day. He was on his way to Nashville, and he just stayed for a couple days. And he was very curious about the area. I think he was a writer or something, a reporter maybe, and asking questions about the Miller Mansion. People told him not to go up there, and apparently he did. And we found him in the woods around the Miller Mansion.
So he wasn't just a drifter then.
He was a traveling man, I guess. He's not a drifter, but he didn't have a permanent residence, is what I understand.
No, but he was here for a reason. To investigate the Miller Mansion.
He was actually on his way to Nashville and heard about the Miller Mansion, and it piqued his curiosity. He said it sounded like a great story, an unusual story, and he was very interested in it. He wasn't here for the Miller Mansion, but while he was here, he heard about it and was very interested. I think he wrote for one of those newspapers.
Tombstone?
Tombstone Epitaph.
That was it.
Yes, indeed.
That was it.
Either way, it'd be an unlucky decision to investigate.
That's what most of the townsfolk told him.
What about the second one?
The second one was a woman, I believe. I can't remember her name. She ended up, we found her not far from the woods in the morning. She had both these people, well, all these victims that I'm speaking of, turned to stone. The sheriff said it was a good thing we found them first, and nobody else did. Dr. Namaroff pretty much declared that they were heart attacks, natural deaths. Yeah, they basically, he tells a couple other victims, the other three, and then, or there were three, and then the last two happened just recently. Well, the last two townfolk happened recently. He knows that Hugo Heights and his fiance or girlfriend.
Now the prince losing his ass. Snapping his ass off.
Emily Sangster was his girlfriend. And he knew Emily because they grew up together here. And he knew that she was pregnant by Hugo. And he was going to go tell her father that he was going to marry her, and she pleaded. She knew that was a bad idea because she expressed to me that she was going to tell him she was pregnant, and that she was afraid he was going to go and talk to the father to marry her, even though he didn't have a lot of money, and she didn't want him to because her father did not approve of their relationship.
Who was the father?
His name is Gerald Sangster. He's kind of one of the more, not prominent people, but he owns some farmland here. Well,
oh, that's right. We already talked about that earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
They're the ones that threw the
log into Julius. Right. Yeah, and he was very upset. I think, well, he would have been very upset had he known. Well, then we found Emily in the woods, turned to stone, and not far from her we found Paul Heights as well.
But what did you do with all these stone statues?
We were told to bury them in Boot Hill, so that's where they're buried. And Julius, the father, and he kind of looks at Paul when he's saying this, and he's like, "I'm very sorry that you're hearing this, but your father, I was told that he was found in this house, turned to stone, and they took him and buried him in Boot Hill." Again, the sheriff told me not to say anything, and my job was on the line and all of that, but I couldn't keep it quiet anymore. And I had met during my time as a scout in the military, I had met Felix Cormont and a man named Hank Ketchum. And
Very familiar with them. Yes.
interesting fellows, and saw something that I can't really explain, but they can explain it. And I knew they were into this, so I knew Felix resides in Memphis, so that's why I wrote him a letter and tried to keep it quiet, because I have a feeling if Sheriff Nolan would have intercepted that letter, he's a very meticulous man. If I were to send a letter, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd check the post office to see what's going out of town. He would have found it, and who knows?
There's only
I
one
would
man
be out of a
more
job
meticulous
at
than
the
I
least.
would.
That's why I sent it by courier. So, that's what I know. And Laura's like, I know that I believe Dr. Dameroff is trying to protect someone, but he won't say who. I don't know if it's one of the inmates at the asylum. We have had a few that have escaped and either been recaptured or returned over the past 2 years. What type of stone? It's like an episode of a soap opera. It is. It is.
Okay, so it's now soapstone.
Yeah, a soapstone opera. So anyway,
The Raconteur Reservist, folks.
So anyway, she says, I think he's protecting someone, but I don't know who. And she's kind of, during Deputy Marsh's explanation and stuff, she seems to be getting like nervous and antsy, and she's like, look, I want to help in any way I can, but I really need to get back to the institution before I'm questioned as for where I am. And Paul's like, what do you mean? He's like, Dr. Dameroff is a very watchful man as well, and if I'm gone too long, he will notice. Dr. Meister, would you please explain? I am so sorry. He's like, I understand, my dear. I'll explain it. She's like, yes. And she looks at Paul and she's like, I really want to help you as much as I can. Believe me. But I don't know how much I can do. Forgive me. And she kind of leaves the barn, and Paul's like, okay. And after she's gone, Dr. Meister's like,
Should we accompany one of us? At least follow her back?
no. Well, I suppose I think she'll be all right, but
Not with what's going
maybe
on.
not. Copperhead's like, look, I'll follow her back. I'll make sure she gets back to the institution and okay. Dr. Meister's like, that might be best. I'll explain more to your companions, but it's gotten better, but it might happen again. Copperhead takes off and kind of follows her. Dr. Meister says, Laura came to us about 5 or 6 years ago. They actually wanted to check her into the institution. She was suffering from amnesia, blackouts, or something, and she wanted to get her memories back. And Dr. Dameroff has worked with her. He's very good at psychology and a little bit of hypnosis in a way, but to calm her down and get her memories back. And he's been working with her. But there's something odd about that I've always felt strongly about. I've never said anything, but the more recent things have come to light, I'm worried. Dr. Dameroff lost his wife about 8 years ago.
I see.
She looked very much like Laura.
Oh, indeed. Well, that would be a bit different.
And I do believe that he's trying to convince her through power of suggestion that she is meant to be his wife, without saying you're my reincarnated wife. Basically trying to get her to understand that she is to be with him. And I think it's a strange way of courting someone if you...
Yes, as a professional pervert myself, I could see that happening.
He's like, I am very concerned about it. She suffered blackouts when she first came, but they're fewer.
That's called a roofie, sir.
They're fewer and farther between now, but I'm afraid that she might still be susceptible, especially under amount of stress, and she's obviously under that right now.
Yes, indeed.
Now, I have some different information, and Deputy Marsh assures me that this information, I don't know if I believe it, but as they say, once you eliminate the possible, whatever remains, however improbable, is probably the answer.
Well, we have seen a great many things over the years.
Well, that's
That's an understatement.
that's what Deputy Marsh has told me about his friend Felix, and I assume since he sent you, you might not be as shocked by this. So I brought a piece of one of the victims. It broke off, and I collected it, and I've actually been doing some experiments on another piece, and he kind of reaches into his past, unwraps, and there's a human finger, perfect human finger, made of stone. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this was Emily Sangster's finger. You may examine it if you wish, if you know about medicine. He says,
I'll take it.
Or if you know about stone. Or if you know something about stone.
sure, geologist, go for it. He says there were 2 fingers that broke off during transport for her body to the Institute for Namaroff to sign off on. I collected these 2 fingers and I did some experimentation on one. I am something of a, I guess you could say I'm something of an alchemist.
Mad science, understood.
So, this is, I don't know how to explain it, but I've run some experiments on some things I've read. Some unusual books that I've read in the past have actually come in handy. This happens from the outside in over a short amount of time. I was able to reverse the effects on the other finger partially, but I think it had been petrified for too long. What I've created may help you if you're going to try and go to, I believe whatever this is at the Miller Mansion.
I would concur.
If you decide to go there, I do have something that may assist you should you need it. And he kind of reaches into the satchel and he pulls out 4 vials of liquid. And it's kind of like this bluish tint. And he's like,
It's Windex. Hey, good luck.
if you have an urge to take off your clothes and run around, drink this. It prevents streaking.
Where's the dice at?
Thank you very much. No, this is what I believe to be an antidote.
Simon says, he just gave you the finger.
This, I believe, is an antidote. Should you become afflicted with this petrification, I would suggest drinking this immediately, but it will affect, if one of you is afflicted with this, even if you don't drink this immediately, you may be able to apply it somewhere around the mouth or soft membranes that have turned to stone, and it may actually help reverse the process. But if you wait for, I don't know, when I tried it, it was more than a day.
You tried it.
Well, on the finger that I have. And it actually reverted partially to normal.
Flesh.
Yes, but it was still mostly
I
stone.
have chemistry at 3. Can I look at that stone finger?
Yeah, you can look at it.
Simon says, I don't want an antidote, I want an uncle dote.
Well, let me get this straight. So if we all get stoned and we have an interview within the hour, we can drink this and we'll be fine.
Clear you right up.
Yeah, they won't detect anything unusual in our system.
No.
Excellent.
This is topical or for internal use?
I would recommend drinking it, but if the damage has already begun, topical would, I think, work, because that's how I've tried it on the finger. And it seemed to kind of dissolve the stone, but not enough. But it had been stone for some time, at least 24 hours.
So probably if you're drinking, it's circulating within the body. So.
And it seems this petrification, from what I can tell from the observance of how it reverted, it starts from the outside within. So I think if you drink it internally, it will protect your organs and work its way out to counter the effects.
What do I have to roll?
Just roll and tell me what you get.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9? Yeah, the stone is basically a stone, but it's no...
You don't add it together.
Oh, you roll your highest.
Oh, roll it.
Shoot, 4. My highest is 4, excuse me.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's made of rock. It looks kind of like...
Yep, it's stone.
Looks like marble, but not... Marble's got that real beautiful look. It's kind of like marble, but it's not streaks or anything like that. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's rock. He says, and I found something in Dr. Nemiroff's records that I think I just found this afternoon.
Old
That's
Grateful
why I
Dead record.
actually was going to speak to Deputy Marshal about this anyway, and then I found out you gentlemen were coming, so I'll give it to you. Reaches into the briefcase, and he pulls out a couple papers, smaller, like journal-sized papers. He's like, I found this in Nemiroff's desk because I'm trying to find out why he is covering this up, why he isn't doing more to protect this. And I found a snippet of his journal. So it was actually in the wastebasket near his desk. So I think he was trying to hide it. And he passes it over, and basically it's a journal page, and it starts off with, I believe she is afflicted. I will do everything I can to protect her, but I'm not sure how to cure her, if there is a cure of this at all.
What happened to his wife?
If I can fix this at all. Her true name was Eurylia. Eurylia.
Can I roll my occult?
Yes, you can.
The guy will also.
Because I'm wondering if that is like a Greek name or something of that nature. Greeky feeky.
Mike, add +2 to your roll, since you said Greek name.
2, I got an 11 total.
Got 15 total.
Okay. You guys immediately know that name. Yeah.
That means
That means it's one of Medusa's 2 sisters. Riley and Stethnos.
Yep.
I think were the 2 sisters.
Oh.
And apparently he believes that this is some curse passed down. You read it, she's Greek. She's obviously Greek.
Right.
And it looks like she's basically inherited the blood curse of the Gorgons. So he believes that this woman, whoever he's talking about, may actually change into a Gorgon at times and can't control it and turns people to stone. And he's taken her in and is trying to fix it, although she doesn't know it.
was this the woman that was just here?
As you kind of read that, you're like, Laura Hoffman, she has dark hair, Greek features, very beautiful. Who else would Nemiroff be protecting if it's not the woman who looked like his dead wife that he's in love with?
Ding, ding, ding.
So you're like, I think it's
And
her.
it's the blackouts.
And the blackouts is probably it. So he's been trying to
Oh, God. That
convince her she's not a Gorgon, and it may not be working, and that's probably why he's covering up all these murders.
Copperhead's in trouble, gentlemen.
Well, just then you hear somebody drop outside the barn door, like ka-thump, and the door opens, and there's Copperhead, and he's got a pretty good bruise right here on his cheekbone, and he bends down, picks up a guy, and rolls him into the barn and shuts the door, and he's like, found this prick. And you look down, and it's a guy in kind of a dark coat, but under that he has like a white shirt and black slacks, kind of a burly guy. And Dr. Meister's like, oh, so you gave him the final word on your problems in the lobby today. He's like, yep. This is that son of a bitch orderly that was giving me the eye out there.
Well,
He was out there
you
sneaking
handed it
around.
back to him.
He was out there sneaking around trying to find Laura, I think. Saw me and attacked, so I beat the crap out of him.
Oh, do you feel better now?
Yeah, I do, but
Good.
I lost Laura, so I don't know where she went.
Well, I think I might.
So I
be
brought
a bad
him
day.
back here.
Well, I commend you. You did not kill him. Very good.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Simon,
I put my foot on his chest.
my deucer.
get my deucer.
Don't get stoned.
Don't get stoned.
Good idea, and other times they can debate on that. Just think about it.
My deucer.
So
Yep.
Copperhead's like, well, if you fellas don't mind, I'm going to tie this guy up. He grabs some rope off to the, starts
Yeah.
tying him up.
He's still
I'll help
conscious.
him.
No, he's out.
He's out.
He's out. And Dr. Meister's like, this is.
I don't like you very much. Or she was not able to talk well. Blah, 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 blah.
Simon,
Oh, this is
Cousin, don't bring us in.
This is Emil Hurst. He's the orderly.
Yes. Haha. He does. He hurts. He hurts.
I think there's
Hurts,
also an
don't it?
actor.
Yeah.
I think there's also an actor too.
Oh, is there? Oh. Anyway, he's Dr. Nemiroff's, shall we say,
You can adjust those chairs on the,
Guard
on the
dog.
bottom end.
basically, Copperhead's going to tie a purse and
He's gonna tie a purse.
tie a purse.
Does he have my dues, sir?
Meister kind of gives you guys
That was really fun.
the thing, and he's like, well, and Paul's like, so you think this thing is at the Miller Mansion, and you think it's actually Laura?
Well,
Kind of looks like he's hoping the answer is no, but kind of resolved to.
Does Laura stay at the Institute, or does she have
Yeah.
She
another
sneak
place?
off to other places.
Correct.
Dr. Meister's like, she generally stays at the Institute, but when she has suffered her blackouts before, we have found her wandering. But I don't know how often that happens. Or if it's the times it has happened, Dr. Nemiroff has been most concerned, as have we all.
I got a feeling that if we make our way up,
But I'm wondering if maybe she gets out and he allows it. I don't know.
I can't help but wonder if she ain't up there now. Not the Institute, but at the house.
well, what triggers it? You know, that emotional stress.
Who knows? Could be the moon, the phase of the moon. It could be
Slice
emotional
knees.
stress. It could be just that
Either
time
that
of the month. I don't know.
I've seen that before. Yeah, that's true.
He says, but the concern is that's what's going on. As I say, she came to the Institute about 5 years ago for her treatment for blackouts, and these
Where did she
particular
hail
murders.
from? Does that know?
No, we don't know.
Let's see.
There's no paperwork.
With the
on it.
amnesia, she doesn't even know where she hails from.
We're gonna have to find her.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't know. This is an antidote for what happens. I don't know if there's an antidote or anything that can be done for her. If it's a curse of the blood of some sort, like an inherited thing,
What is my occult? Would I know? Any ideas?
there's no precedence. The only way to destroy a Gorgon is to basically
Chop off its head.
cut off its head or destroy its head.
Right.
It's the only way to kill a Gorgon.
Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, what?
You did not say that time of the month. You know I can hear you. Well, it could be.
Where's that at?
It's on the middle.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bobby.
It's Bobby.
Well, Copperhead looks all right, fish tying the guy up. He's like, well, what are we doing? Going up to the house?
going Gorgon hunting?
Well, what do we do if we do find her? How did we stop that? What are we going to do? I mean, I do not want to kill this woman, you know, if all possible, but
Dr. Meister's like, I'm afraid there might be no other way. I mean, it is unfortunate that she's suffered by this, but if there's no way to control it or cure it, this will continue to happen.
You can kill it. You might be able to fix those that have been turned.
Well, how exactly does a Gorgon turn someone to stone? Do they touch her? Or?
Look them in the eyes. So my advice, if you do go up there, do not look at her, which is going to be extremely interesting if you're going to try and fight her. I do have some things at my house that may be of use. I don't know how capable you men are, or if we can do something about it, but I do have mirrors in my house.
What's that going to do?
Excellent.
If you look at her reflection and not directly at her, the power does not work, is what the legends say. That's how Perseus defeated Medusa, by looking at her reflection in his shield.
Oh, I thought the Medusa saw herself in the shield and turned to stone herself out.
Nope. Clash of the Titans. Cut her head off. She jittered and goop came out of her neck. I saw it.
I went
put it in the bag later.
and watched it.
Scorpions grew.
Right, that's right.
Watch the blood of scorpions.
Yeah,
It's a
don't-
giant scorpions.
How big are these mirrors? Because that might be a little bit difficult to wield those and try to be in contact.
Well, I do have some small ones that you might be able to. They're not exactly wall mirrors, but they're not exactly.
Should have brought those
Shaving
mirrors that you
mirrors.
keep right above your bed.
I know. That would have been at least 30 of them.
Double planed and everything.
Yeah, well, some of them are two-way.
Deputy
I
Marshal,
charge for a show, you know.
This is the doctor or the deputy that said this?
the doctor. And Deputy Marsh is like, well, I suggest we leave Hurst here, at least for now. And I should probably get back to the sheriff's office to make sure if anything else I can kind of maybe run interference for you while you go up to the Miller Mansion. Otherwise, he's going to get up there and cause all kinds of problems and get in the way. Maybe I can go talk to him, or if he starts asking questions, I can talk to him about it, or at least just keep it quiet so he doesn't know anything's going on up there.
What is the relation? How does she feel about this gentleman? You know?
Who's that?
The lady.
And Copperheads and Paul?
Yeah.
They just, apparently they just met at the institution, but they were instantly drawn to each other. Any fool can tell you that.
Might be.
He's drawn to each other.
He might be in cahoots with
Laura and Paul.
Jeez, I could look, if I could get an image, look at the man, I might be able to. Did I have enough of a look in my hunch to be able to do imposter on myself?
Namaroff?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
Is this sheriff? Is he still up right now?
Deputy's like, maybe. Why, do you need him?
I think it's maybe best we get some more information. We can get it from him.
I can tell you he doesn't know any more than I do. He just knows the murders have been happening in the 5 years and that we're supposed to keep quiet about it. He gets all his information from Namaroff. Namaroff is the man in charge. And Dr. Meister's like, well, if you were thinking about using Namaroff's name to kind of calm her down or anything, I wouldn't. They had quite a row yesterday. She's tired of being, in her words, and it's not that I was eavesdropping, but I did happen to pass by and drop my pen. And he kind of smiles. He's like, she is tired of being looked after like a prisoner. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She's tired of his...
Well, never mind then.
His, not advances, but his jealousy, so to speak. They had quite a bit of a row.
I see.
I think his plan to woo her and make her into what he wants her to be is starting to backfire, which also makes me very worried about her blackout situation. And if Mr. Copperhead, he's like Frank, he's like, well, if
Mr.
Frank's losing her is any possibility, I would not be surprised if that could trigger one of these spells. And it seems as though she has chosen unconsciously the Miller Mansion as her lair.
That might not be by mistake. I mean, if they were a group of strange individuals up there,
could have been drawn to that. I've heard tales of the Miller Mansion and the Gorgons. From what I understand, they were very attractive women who were created to be Gorgons. And although they are hideous to look at, in fact, deadly to look at, they still exude a, I guess you could say, like a succubus. They exude a power to draw men to her.
No, Bo, no.
So
Now I'm worried about Bo. No.
Don't worry about me.
Worried about Paul.
Yeah. We better find this person quick.
all right.
Let's get these mirrors and get situated.
So Dr. Meister is going to offer to escort you to his house, which is not far from the church. And when you get over there, he's got some mirrors, and he's like, here, take what you can. He has some shaving mirrors that are about that big around. He's got a couple like mirrors for the bathroom like this. That you could probably tie to your arm with a belt and be like a buckler kind of thing, maybe. He does have some bigger mirrors. He does have some small mirrors, but whatever you think might be useful. Copperhead takes one of the shaving mirrors. It's about that big. And you notice he like, let me see that. He holds it. And you see him look, draw his gun. That'll work.
Trick shot.
Yeah, because he's got gunplay.
Yeah, so do I.
So he's like, I'll take that. So you guys can grab what you want. Anybody want to take a mirror and what kind? And
Does he have a mirror with a handle on it?
He does.
If he does, I'm going to stick it in my gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, and have it sticking up so you can look
Right,
at the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Does he have some sort of heavy black cloth or some sort of thing, like a bag or something like that?
Oh, well, I do have this. And he's like, I do have something that might, I think I know what you're talking about. He goes into his closet and brings out kind of an older doctor's satchel.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, perfect size for a head.
No,
He kind of smiles and sets it on the table.
Maybe some sort of sheet or something too. Do you have that?
Sheets? What do you need that for?
Just
because he might sting him for you.
one way or the other. Just
He goes and gets like a blanket from his
I'll put it in
closet.
the bag.
Okay.
The old doctor's flip down.
Mhm.
Is what you're talking about? The doctor's headband, the thing that flips down.
Oh, no, he didn't. If you want one, he's got one, but
Yeah.
no, he got the satchel and the blanket for you.
It's got a hole in the middle of it, though, don't it? Did you look through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that won't work.
Yeah. Unless you just focus on this part, not this part.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's got a hole in it and you're looking at a reflection, she won't be on that side.
Right.
So,
I'll stick with my.
okay. Anybody
I'll take
else?
one small one.
I'll
Take
take
a
some.
small one.
I'll get a
Small
handheld one.
handheld one. He's got him. So, he's like, I'm very vain.
I'm gonna take one of the full length ones and hook it on my back.
Yeah.
I'll just turn around. Okay, shoot her.
So anyway, you guys get your mirrors. He gives you the antidotes. He's like, now I only have 4 vials of this, so be very careful. If you need it,
Oh.
that's fine. If you use it all, that's fine. That's what I made it for. But this is all I have.
Blue raspberries.
So keep that in mind. So he gives you the vials. He's like, don't forget, as soon as you feel the effects, drink it. And if you turn to stone, I believe you can use it topically, and that will reverse the effects as long as you don't wait for a few hours. You should be fine. Good luck, gentlemen. And he's like, I'm not going. But
to
good
kill
luck.
the Gorgons. I wonder what Gorgon was.
So Paul is kind of like, he probably takes a mirror, and you notice he actually kind of thanks Dr. Meister and like, does anyone have an extra weapon?
Oh,
And
sure.
Meister's like,
I give him one of my peacemakers.
okay. He takes that, and Meister's like, you know what? Do any of you have a blade of any kind?
I got a Bowie knife.
Okay. He's like, well, as you know, I'm kind of interested in history and the occult. Not that this is a cult, but I may have something. And he goes into, opens the door. It looks like his study.
Bone
And
saw.
off the wall, he pulls a sword.
A sword.
And he's like, if anyone can use it, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, I have a saber.
Oh, you got a saber?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot.
My cane sword. So
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like,
saber.
well, in that case, I'll keep this safe.
Fair enough.
Puts it back up. Unless anybody wants to take a sword, just to wield a sword. And look badass while doing it.
I'm like, shit, I forgot. Yeah. I got a Bowie and a saber.
Okay. Yeah, Copperhead's got a Bowie knife, so he kind of takes it out of his boot, sticks it in his belt. He's like, all right. And Paul's like, let's go.
Okay. So I have to take the saber off my horse and put it on my belt.
So you guys ride up to the Miller Mansion? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, are you going to ride up to the Miller Mansion, or are you going to take that walking path?
Walking path.
I was going to say, you could ride up there, but the woods are kind of thick, so it might slow you down. But if you want to go to the house and just take that path the same way
And
Julius
I'm going to
does,
stop on the way and leave a couple coins too. In
to the
box.
shrine?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That makes 2 of us.
Okay.
3 coins and a
No problem.
Birdhouse.
In my soul.
Okay. So you guys dismount, go to the back of the house.
I tell my horse, now be good.
Yep.
You shoot somebody, you have to.
Horse turns around, it's got a cigarette.
Ah. Listen to you.
That horse has seen things.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were getting stoned, boss.
I know that. Because you get the more you share, you get more.
So anyway, you guys start walking up the path. You guys pass the shrine. You're gonna throw a couple coins in. Okay. All right. As you pass the shrine, you start walking. All that. Is anybody doing any type of tracking or anything?
Yeah.
Or just okay.
I mean, I kind of know the path anyway, but
Right. So
Do I
if
need to
anybody
track
wants to
again?
do some tracking, go ahead and roll. Eh.
17.
17. Same tracks as before. If Laura came this way, it doesn't look like she came this way.
Right.
But yeah, the same tracks as before, easily to spot.
Okay,
Easy spot.
That's the only reason I'd be looking at was there anything new?
Okay. Nope, nothing new.
This way, gentlemen.
So eventually
I
you
guess
make it
I'm
up.
in the lead. Then.
Yeah, probably. So eventually you guys make it up to the house. And as you kind of come out of the trees, you know, the yard is obviously overgrown. In fact, it looks like it's starting to become more like part of the woods.
Right.
But as you walk up, the actual yard of the house is just overgrown. But it's a big 3-story house. Looks like something out of a Hammer film, or Edgar Allan Poe lived here, I think. It's dark. It's like peeling paint, so it's like that dark gray. It maybe once was white.
So we're gonna usher in a new story.
Oh, don't fall.
Oh.
So,
By the way, before we left too, I left a gateway at the church.
oh, okay.
So
All right.
if I gotta.
Yeah, you can get back to the church. Okay. So,
He does that in churches, so in case he needs to get married in a hurry.
or leave the altar in a hurry.
Right.
So the front porch is pretty huge. It's got the big awning. It's all made of stone, 2 pillars, and then it kind of goes back to where it's like a dark house, or dark front door. You know, obviously no lights up here. You got the moonlight and whatever light you brought, and that's it. So I don't know if anybody wants to light a lantern or have a torch, or
What phase is the moon in?
it's probably 3/4, almost full.
So pretty bright.
outside.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't know about what the inside's going to be like.
Anybody bring a lantern? I forgot.
And if you wanted to get a lantern, you could have done it before you left town. There were lanterns in the house,
I would have grabbed
so
one.
you can
You
make.
know what?
There's stuff you can make a torch out of.
I would have asked him if he had a what do they call it? A bullseye lantern.
Yeah.
Oh,
It has a mirror in it.
yeah.
That reflects the light,
yeah.
so that way it's
Dr. Meinster wouldn't.
okay.
What about his dad?
Deputy Marsh could probably get you one.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a bullseye lantern, he could sneak one out of the jail and bring it.
Yeah, I'll take one, or somebody can have.
Okay.
Somebody should have one of those.
Okay.
It's
So-
got a mirror already installed.
So as you guys walk up, stone pillars and the it's dark under the awning, so you can barely make out the door. The stone pillars you can see in the moonlight are very carved. They're obviously worn because it's been several years, but you can still make it out. The pillars are quite bow-like. Each pillar in the center of the pillar is carved in a representation of a very attractive female form in the throes of passion.
Oh,
And there are things
Look at those
intercarved
open
with it, and it's like, oh my! I mean, it's not like obvious. It's not like she's bent over or anything. But
come on, that was all.
as you look at the pillar, you know, when in its heyday, you would have looked at it and been like, oh, look at that! That's a sculpture, but wow! As it faded, it's kind of like that. It's not as beautiful as it once was, but it was still kind of. Ooh. This is a
Velvet
Playboy
painting.
mansion.
Yeah.
As you guys kind of get to the steps and start walking up, roll your cognitions. Just target number of 5.
One success.
What are we rolling? I'm sorry.
Cognition.
Cog.
If you have keen, you can use it. Not eagle eyes.
Your highest die.
13 for me.
How many?
13.
Okay.
Got 11.
Okay.
7.
Okay. So you guys all see it. Session. Yeah. As you guys walk up, you're not taking like, oh God, but it looks like there's somebody standing on the porch. But as you get closer, it's a statue, and it's very out of place. And you see, it looks like a statue, almost immaculately carved statue of what looks like maybe a 30-year-old guy, mustache, kind of the slouch hat, a duster, and it looks like he's going for a gun. and it's like
got it.
perfectly carved statue of
got
just a random
This
guy.
is the reporter, I guess.
No, this looks actually more recent. This looks like it's not that old.
Can we save him? Can we save him, maybe?
Well, it's not been in the. It's over 24 hours.
Yeah.
The reporter was like 5 years ago. This looks like it's maybe a couple months.
Can we try a cog roll to see if we recognize him?
You can try.
That'd be smarts.
Smarts. Yeah. See if he's wanted for anything.
Or knowledge. Knowledge, actually, probably.
If you had some sort of specialization in criminals or something like that, you could use that.
Yeah.
I got an 11
I
on
got
knowledge.
You got 2,
two.
and you got 11. Yeah, actually, an 11. Yeah, you kind of recognize this guy because when you were in the sheriff's office, just before he pushed you out, you kind of looked at him and you glanced, and there was the wanted posters on the wall, and this guy was one of those guys. He had like a $20 reward on him, but he was wanted for larceny and
Swearing.
yeah, larceny, loitering, and trespassing.
And he did all 3. That's why.
That's why he's wanted. So he's like a petty thief who probably just squats places and then tries to rob people in the night. It looks like he was probably
In the process of trying to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe somebody met him at the door.
Well, that's a $20 statue.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's standing there, and you can see the look on his face is just like it's fear.
Yeah.
So the door's closed though.
What was the woman's name again?
Her name is Laura, but the Gorgon's name is Uriah.
Uriah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask that again later.
That's fine. So you go up and knock on the door?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna check and see if it's open.
okay. Okay. You go up. Click. It's open.
I'll go up.
I'm gonna take
knock
the
on it
mirror.
before he opens it all the way.
I'm gonna take my mirror and
You go ahead and knock on the door.
Yeah.
No answer.
Gotta yell out her name.
like, well, so
Are
much
you
for
sure you
much
want
for
to make a noise?
the surprise.
There's something in there. We're going to counter it one way or the other.
I'd just rather it be on our terms.
Copperhead's like, well, I'd rather us surprise it than it surprise us.
Or maybe it might be best to let her, if she is who we think she is, then maybe it'd be best not to surprise her.
Boo!
Yeah.
Where'd the garter snakes go?
Telegram for the gong gong.
All right, so you guys,
Telegram.
no answer. You open the door, and as you do, you notice there's wind blowing from inside, like maybe a hole in the wall or something. But as you do, dried leaves come blowing out of the house.
Out of the house.
Yeah, like, you got trees up above the
Oh
house.
yeah, they blew
So
through the.
they
Yeah.
blew through the house, so it looks like nobody's been in here
It's probably open
for a
window
long
somewhere.
time. And there's dried leaves on the porch and everything, but as you open it up, it's like,
Who's carrying
Guess to
the
win.
bullseye lantern?
I thought you were.
Yeah, I thought you.
Oh, okay. I guess
Yeah, you asked for it.
I have one. I have the other one.
I'll go ahead and spark it up and
Okay. All right.
start walking in.
I'll light mine as well. So.
Okay. Yeah. Copperhead's probably got his mirror, and he's already drawn one of his guns, and he's probably doing the same thing. Just kind of, notice he's almost walking sideways into the house.
Right. I'm walking actually in, but I'm looking down.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
trying. I'm
Yeah.
not looking straight ahead. I'm
Right.
more like as the edge of the light's creeping. That's where I'm watching.
Okay.
So-
So you guys go in. Everybody goes in.
Yeah.
Basically you get in and you're in what looks like a large parlor, foyer, something like that. Ahead of you is a staircase, a very wide staircase that goes up to a landing that looks like it splits off. Over on this side, you can see what looks like an archway into another room, and over here are double doors that are open to another room. And that way you can see like some shafts of light, like maybe moonlight from up above or something, or through a window. Over here, it's pretty much dark, pretty much pitch black. And then, of course, in here. So just so you know, you guys, for right now, if anything comes down the stairs, there's a big window at the stairs letting in some moonlight. But most of this, you're probably going to be at -2 for shooting if you can't see.
Right.
So if you don't have a light source or not near a light source, it'll be a -2. If you're like shooting in the archway, it's going to be -4. Unless you have gunplay where you can listen, that kind of thing. Okay. So where do you guys go from here?
I'm going to go towards the back, check the kitchen area, the back door, see if that's open.
Okay.
Let's all stay together, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty big house, so you got to cross this, and there are doors over there that you assume lead to the back of the house.
Let's all stay together so we can get stoned as a group.
Right.
It's just like those trolls.
Yeah.
We'll be
Okay.
the stoners.
So Olaf starts heading back there. So you guys all going as a group, I'm assuming? Mm-hmm. Okay. Which side of the stairs do you want to go?
Left.
Left? Okay, so you go through that door, and it looks like you are kind of in a kind of like a mud room, and you notice there's a hallway that goes off this way and a hallway straight ahead. The hallway that goes off this way ends in a door. The hallway straight ahead goes, and you can see, because of the moonlight, it looks like there's a window down there. That might be the back door, or a back door. But
Right in the back door.
Go ahead and check it out. Check out in the backyard.
you walk down the hallway, it's just one long hallway, and that is a back door. It's just a single door, and when you open it up, it kind of opens up into what looks like a little, not a greenhouse, but like a arboretum, like a little glassed-in room that's full of dead plants and old planters. That's it. If you go back, go down to that door, it is unlocked, but it's like you can't really, it opens in, there's something holding it. You can't really, you'd have to push to open it. So do you guys want to do that, or do you just want to leave it? You can open it, like unlatch it, and that's about it. You have to push to get it open.
But it's latched shut.
It was, but it's not locked.
Push.
Turn the key, you can like push it, and it's like, ooh.
I'll push.
Well,
You want to push it? Okay. You kind of give it a push. You don't have to roll your strength, but as you do, you hear something fall over inside, like a big crash. And you're like, ooh, what?
Oh, shit.
And then it opens up, and it looks like it's a landing, stairs that go down to the basement, and a big part of a beam from the house was there. And when you opened it, it kind of crushes and falls down the stairs. Bang, 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 hits the bottom. So, and it
Just
echoes
freeze.
through the whole, you can hear it through the whole
I
house.
freeze and I look at Cobb and go, now that's how you make an entrance.
So,
Shake my head. I'm like, well,
and you know you could get down the stairs now
Yeah.
if you wanted to go down in the basement, but that's what that leads to.
Well, it said Leia, right? Leia's are mostly underground. Should we check it out?
hopefully she's a heavy sleeper.
Hopefully, so I just killed her with a beam in the house.
Yeah.
I don't think she was down here because otherwise the beam probably was falling here.
Well, there might be another way into the basement,
out
too.
of place, and so it wouldn't have been there if she had.
True, but there might be another way in the basement, and this is another way to get down. I'm sure there's more than one way. This house this big.
Did you guys go downstairs?
You got the lantern first, sir.
We'll go.
I am casting Bodyguard,
Okay.
and it will last for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a pretty big house. Do you want to wait and cast it when you encounter her? Because otherwise, it might take you 5 minutes to get in the basement and come back up. And if she's not there, you just wasted the spell.
Okay. If I can save that for them.
Yeah, like basically, when you get into rounds, your first action card, you can cast Bodyguard. Just Devil's Advocate.
Gotcha.
Not that I'm a devil. You'll be fine.
Yes, you are.
So you guys go down the stairs pretty quietly. They creak. There's one that's broken that you have to step over. You get down to the bottom, and that beam's there, but you kind of use the lantern to kind of look around. It's pitch black down here. You do see what looks like maybe a wine rack over not far away. Over this way, it kind of opens up and goes back around the corner. You do see couple doors there, and you also see on the wall, which is really interesting, are 2 sets of manacles hanging from a chain from a hook in the wall, but they look like they're rusted. They've been there a long time. And you notice on either side of those sets of manacles are like candelabras that are obviously not lit,
Right.
but they're there. Like sconces on the wall.
Yeah.
Is there no candles in there? Or would it be
You can tell they are, but they're melted down. But you might still be able to light
What kind
them.
of place was this?
well, they put into stuff.
The Millers are obviously into a bit of bondage.
Yes.
So the basement kind of continues on around that way. Keep
The
going.
safe word is you have to pronounce it for the
Right. Pineapple. Gotcha.
pineapple. Very good.
Continue on.
That's Gorgon for pineapple.
Right.
So as you kind of walk around the corner,
Pineapple,
it's
pineapple.
pitch black down here. Like I said, you come across it. It's like a little hallway, and then it opens up into a much larger room. This room is like, okay, this is Bo's like dream house or nightmare. You see racks, you see beds with manacles, you see strange markings on the walls. You know, this is a room that probably few people ever saw or maybe came back from, except for the owners, the Millers. And there's stains on the wall, on the floor that are very old, but it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what that is. Places in the corner that have like straw beds and chains,
Man.
all kinds of
They're
weird
into
stuff.
more than just making the whoop.
And as you walk through this room, you see a set of like double doors, almost like shed doors, that are kind of partially open. And then, of course, there's the 2 doors back there. So I don't know, are you going to try and search every room, or what's your plan here?
I mean, we're just making our way through the house, so
Yeah, do you want to just skip the doors for now and look at the main house, or you want to look at every single door?
We're down here, let's eliminate.
Okay.
eliminate.
Quick rundown. Some of the doors are going to be locked. Some of them are barred. Some of them are just open up. The 2 doors, one is like a storage room. The other one is basically a storage room, but it looks as though it was an abattoir. Like there's a work table and a lot of saws and things, like maybe getting rid of things.
Right.
So you open that up and it's like, whoa. The big double doors that open up kind of open up into another larger room. This room is kind of more of an actual basement, but there are like tables and desks. There's a couple bookshelves, but the books are so moldy and water damaged that you wouldn't even, you could pick one up and it just crumbles.
Right.
But there's more candelabras in here and stuff like that. The middle of the room has like a circle drawing with runes in it that has been scuffed so much that it's, if it was a protection circle, it's not working now.
Right.
So, and then at the end of this room are 2 doors, and there's a door over here. This door leads to basically a small bedroom. Nothing creepy about it per se, just a bedroom.
Right.
And then the 2 doors at the back, there's a door that leads to what looks like another big storage area. And there's some barrels and stuff like that in there. The other door looks like it leads to a little hallway. And there's a little simple staircase that leads up to what looks like a couple double doors.
Yeah, the other entrance to the basement. Right. No internal other stairways other than the one we came up then.
There is another stairway that looks like it's over by where it goes, the double doors. There's a kind of another simple stairway that kind of leads off of that to another door.
Let's take those stairs up and then go put us back inside the house.
Yeah.
Sure enough, you open it up, you're in the kitchen. And the kitchen,
I try to do hex sense, but I fail.
okay, no, you're
Let's
not.
check the refrigerator.
Check the refrigerator.
The
Yeah.
ice is melted long
Yeah.
ago.
The in here just looks like an old abandoned, fairly nice, wealthy kitchen. You know, it's got the island in the middle and stuff like that. Pots and pans are all rusted, that kind of thing. You do notice there are some holes in the ceiling that kind of let in moonlight. So this is like a first floor kitchen, and then the second floor is over here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dried leaves and dust and dirt and mud kind of on the
Place
floors.
been shut down a long time.
So
They were hung how many years ago?
20.
20.
Yeah.
And oh, I'm sorry. When you went in the front door, you did notice the remnants of 3 ropes hanging from the ceiling,
Oh, nice.
where they cut their bodies down, but didn't bother to go up and untie the rest
That
of
was
the
a
news.
very important tour guide situation. You
sorry.
should point that out.
Yeah.
Bad DM, smack yourself.
Yeah, they give out stickers. I saw the 3 ropes and lived.
And lived.
Thank you for visiting the Miller Mansion.
Yeah.
As you walk in, you're like, and there's a click.
Yeah.
There's a Gorgon behind you.
There's 2 pictures.
And it's hanging around the statue out in the yard.
So as you're in the kitchen, you do look, and there's a big set of like French doors that look out into the backyard. And as you look out in the moonlight, it's like, looked like it was kind of a very nice plants and stuff. Most of them have died and wilted. Trees are all dead. You notice statues out there, and there's a lot of them. There's like at least 25 statues out there. And you can tell just by glancing, it's like, okay, well, these are obviously the ones that the Millers had built, because they're very articulate and very, fancy looking, but stylized. You do see one outside the kitchen, and it looks like some kind of a prospector type fella. He's got the crazy beard. He's not with the hat and the pickaxe, but like a drifter.
Right.
A bum. And he's, as you guys look out there and your lantern hits it, it is like, whoa, because he's
looking at you.
right at the window with a horrified look on his face. Just turned to stone. You feel like all the whiskers are like perfectly carved. And he's just, and you're like, whoa. So, and then just beyond him, you see what looks like another regular guy, like a cowboy, with a shotgun. And he's kind of got it like pulled, and you can tell it was like pulling it up, looking at that window.
All the
It's frozen.
all their weapons and clothes and everything turns to stone too, don't they?
Everything.
Wow, that's crazy.
Everything. So
That's a powerful Gorgon.
basically, as you guys are like, whoa, what's that? You hear
Tap tap. On my
you
shoulder.
hear something out deeper in the house, like where you came from. Sounds like a thump.
Started the raid without us.
I'm probably towards the back, so I'll kind of hold that mirror up and kind of look behind me, see if it's safe to turn around.
Yeah, it is. There's nobody in here. You notice there's double doors that lead out of the kitchen. As you go out there, there's a dining room, and there's a large archway at the dining room, and it looks like that leads back to the parlor where you came from.
Is that where it sounded like it came from?
Sounded like it came from either beyond that, or maybe even upstairs. You're not sure.
I'll go ahead and turn around. I'll call out like, what's her name again?
Well, just as you're Eurelia, but just as you do that, you're like, you hear another voice who says, Laura.
Is that Paul?
And Paul's with you, and he's like, that's Namaroff.
Snuff my lantern.
That's what?
Namaroff. He's like, that's Namaroff's voice. And out in the parlor, you hear,
Oh, so it wasn't Paul's voice I heard.
right.
Okay.
The thump you heard, you didn't know what it was, but then you hear this Namaroff
Laura.
saying, Laura. And he's in the parlor somewhere. The thump might have been him coming in the door, or you don't know.
I kind of start moving
Don't know.
towards the parlor.
Okay.
And I'll try and,
You start moving parkour? Is that what it is?
yeah. I'm not gonna buy.
Okay. So you start walking down there?
Yeah.
Paul's kind of right there with
I'm
you.
gonna snuff the lantern.
Okay. All right.
Be quiet, moving through too.
As you stuff the lantern, anybody in the dining room is like,
I got mine still.
okay, you got yours? Okay. So you can see the light. As you guys get to that big archway, you hear again, Laura? And as you guys enter the parlor,
Are they coming up behind me then, or?
yeah, I'm assuming you're all sticking together.
I'm kind of the back because I don't want the lantern to
Well, we all switched leadership because
Yeah.
if we just turned around and started
Yeah.
walking, then you're in the lead.
So I kind
I
of
don't
like,
have a lantern, so.
Okay.
I'm holding back because you trumped the lantern, so I don't want to see, but I want everybody else to be able to see the room. So I'm kind of muffling the lantern, but
Right.
enough for them to see, but not maybe shining out into the other room.
Well, as you guys walk through that archway into the parlor, you see a guy, must be Dr. Namaroff. He's got kind of a goatee, kind of a little darker gray, like he's not as old as Meister, but older. Very hawkish kind of features, long, sharp nose.
Has a beak. Right?
Yeah, very piercing kind of eyes. His
Feathered.
hair is kind of receding, but swept back. He's wearing what looks like kind of the Iverness coat, where it's the coat with the half cape, and underneath that you can tell he's wearing like a suit, and he actually is carrying a sword, like
Really?
a pretty good sword, and he kind of like, as he says, Laura, and you walk through, he's turning to look at you as you come in the room, like he thought maybe you were her, and he kind of looks and he's like, you, looks right at Paul, and he's like, you tried to take her from me, didn't you? And he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, she's enamored with you, she's mine. And he's got this like wild eye in his look, wild look in his eye. He's like, she's mine.
She's yours. Why you can't sword, sir?
Because if she needs to be destroyed, it's going to be on my terms, not yours.
Okay. Go ahead and find her. We'll let you know we'll find her.
So you lost her again, then?
I will not lose her again.
You lost her several times, appears like. Or did you let her go so that she could do your work?
Didn't do my work. She had to hunt. It was the only way to clear her mind of this need. Just then you hear another thump from upstairs. Go ahead and roll your spirit.
Oh, crap.
Target number of 9. Now, what I'm having you do is roll, because you hear a thump, and I know what most people do.
Just normal spirit. No,
Spirit, target number of 9. If you fail, you look upstairs to see what it is. Without the mirror, you just look.
Got 12.
11.
I got a 10.
Nope, I missed.
Okay,
Oh,
now
shit.
if you want
Wait, what was the difficulty?
9.
9.
Oh, no, I mean,
If you want to use a chip, you may.
Chip it up, baby.
Oh yeah, I should probably.
I use a blue one.
Okay.
That way he can't spend money.
Catch, Dale. Open your mouth.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay.
Now I got it.
So basically, you guys like.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I gotta roll for him too.
Now, can I do something too?
Yeah.
Like, if the guy that's with us, can I almost like put my hand up in his face to like block his view? Kind of like you see.
You can, but he made his spirit.
Okay.
So as you guys like don't look, he kind of pointedly averts his eyes.
I kind of like.
And he
have,
looks he looks frightened as hell. He's like,
Yeah.
God. Unfortunately, Namaroff, Laura, and looks right at her. And you see him pause, kind of give this grimace, and instantly you can see his skin turning gray. And as he turns, he's like, and he just slows and stops and turns to stone. And it took like what would be like 4 rounds, like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And he turns to stone.
So he's turning to stone. So.
Yeah. So he just turned to stone. So you know, if you
rolling
look at this thing, you better be like, oh. Huh? The Rolling
Rolling
Stone.
Stone?
He looks just like Keith Richards.
Before we start though, who all has a vial?
Well, there's 4 of us, so
Yeah,
if
he did
each one
one
of us
go.
go.
There's 6 of you:
Yes.
Yes.
Copperhead.
Oh, Copperhead.
Copperhead and Paul.
I didn't take
So
one.
there's only 4 vials.
Yeah, I didn't take a vial.
Oh, if he didn't take one, then I suppose I took one.
Okay.
That way I can administer it to somebody.
Okay.
But my thought was,
Copperhead's like, here, I'm gonna drop this goddamn thing. Just keep it.
And I got 2 of them.
Well, Paul takes one if
okay.
you want.
Yeah.
So he's like, if I look at this crazy thing,
So we got the
Give me a
professor
shot.
here too, or just Paul, right?
just Paul. Dr. Meister and the deputy stayed back.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
So they got one, and then Paul.
Paul has one. So, all right. So you don't look. You see out of the corners of your eye, or if you're looking at him and focus on him, you see Namaroff turn to stone, and you hear.
I'm looking at him, but I'm looking at through the mirror at the top of the stairs.
You actually hear above you what sounds like a rattlesnake, like.
So while this is happening, can I do my bodyguard?
Yes. So I will allow you to do that, and depending on what you guys are going to do, we're probably going to go into rounds.
Okay, I got to use the restroom right quick.
Okay.
So everybody get prepared. I'll be right back.
So if you're just going to kind of be prepared to react, why don't we go into rounds now? You can roll when you get back, Rob.
Where's our deck?
Right here.
Is that the deck we're sharing?
Yeah, I just had an extra deck, so. And it's Lord of the Rings deck.
Neat.
What's this?
Yes, in this game we use cards, chips,
And dice.
Yes.
All right, people.
That's
Cue the
all
fine music.
good Western gamblers do.
Yes. So initiative is again
Okay, so the way you do your initiative is roll your
Quick roll.
quickness,
quickness
Or quickness?
target number of 5.
a 9.
Okay, so for example, Mike, you got a 9. You get 1 card for participating, 1 card for beating the target number of 5. That's what you get.
I dropped it on the floor. I got a 7.
Yeah, 6.
Okay, so you guys are going to get 2 cards.
All of us.
Technically, huh?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
of us, and then we have to wait
Yeah.
for Rob.
Yep.
Yeah. We usually go with the highest card, the
Yeah.
highest draws first.
Yeah.
Right. And I got.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm so
Rob.
excited I had to pee.
Roll your quickness here, Rob.
This is
Target number is 5.
We're the fastest one here.
just straight quickness, right?
Yeah.
Might be shorter die.
And it pops.
Oof.
It's 112. I got a real noise. I got. Oop, it was off. Okay, so 1 popped.
There you go.
19.
Okay. So 1 for participating, 5, 10, 15, 20. So you get 4 cards.
Okay.
5 is the most you can have.
Right.
So. Okay. So, how many people are going to try and look at this thing with a mirror? Okay. Like right off the bat, because we'll get that out of the way.
Jeez. I got crappy cards though.
I think Copperhead's going to use his mirror to see it as well.
Give it a 9.
Hey, what the hell is this card?
That would be. I believe that is.
I got the One Ring.
You got a Joker.
Joker. That's Joker.
Probably
That
red.
would be the
Red or black?
Well, there is no red or black.
yeah.
Goes here.
Isn't it? There's red and black Joker. And
Yeah, there's a red and black Joker.
Should be. In most decks they do, but not all decks. Otherwise you'd have to designate a red and black.
King, Queen, Jack, Club.
Yeah, they don't usually designate.
I thought it was when we were doing character generation. We had
So
red,
you
black
might have to
decks.
flip through the deck and look for the other Joker and compare it, and then just shuffle the deck when you're done.
I think the red Joker is the Balrog.
That would make sense if that's a Joker, because he's red.
I think it's in there, but I can't. It's been so long since I looked at the deck.
Well, the Bull Rock should be the black Joker.
Black, and then he's
Well, that's got red on it.
Red.
So
He's got red.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
That
you
makes
got
sense.
the
So
red
that's
good. Black is bad.
So you got the red Joker, which means anytime in the round you can throw that down and interrupt somebody without having to make a quickness check. All right. So without sacrificing an action card for this, whoever is going to look at the Lara with a mirror, go ahead and make a cognition check. Actually, no, if you're going to look in the mirror, you're going to see her. So make a guts check. And your target number is going to be 9.
Don't forget to add your
Grit.
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 Down in the. It'd be on your lower right. You should have a 5. Lower right.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Ooh. 10.
10.
What's your grit, right?
Yep.
10 also.
13.
Okay.
I did not.
You're not looking. Okay. Neither
Two
is
10s
Paul.
and a microphone.
2 10s and a microphone. All right. You guys look up and you make it, but it's like something you've never quite seen before. So it is like that. Oh my God. But you don't flip out. And this, I didn't get a chance to scan it. So let me know if that's.
Yep, that's it. More towards your right. And there you go. Ooh, big old.
Holy
Yeah.
rat.
So basically, the way a Gorgon is, in my view, is they are very seductive. And
That's not very selective.
no, but their body,
you see them?
their body type is very seductive, and that's what draws men to them.
The big boobies.
But everything from the neck up is just death.
Right.
So that's why she's very voluptuous and kind of covered in these scales, and the way she moves is very graceful.
Or slithering like.
Yeah, but yeah, she's not pretty to kiss. So as you guys look in the mirror, you're like, holy crap, I've never seen one of those. But man, she's built.
Like a
All right. So
like a brick.
now I need you to make a spirit check. Target number of, I'd say target number of 5.
Spirit, huh?
For those of us that looked.
Yes, for those of you that look.
8,
9.
11.
18.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you guys all, and you do. For some reason, you look at it, you see it, you freak out, but your eyes naturally drift lower. And for a split instant, you're like, God, she's actually beautiful.
Right.
But then you snap out of it.
That snake is hot.
Yeah. And it's like you instantly like, whoa. But it's like a pheromone almost.
Right.
So, all right. So now we can get into action. Countdown cards. Aces. Who's got aces? Kings. Queens. Queen of
Denial.
Hearts.
Hearts. You and she go at the same time.
Ooh.
So what are you going to do, Olaf? Try and shoot her?
Two shots out of my pistol.
Okay. So you're shooting blind because you can't point, you can't look at her to shoot, right?
Right.
So
Mirror, are you?
you,
I'm using
Oh, yeah, you get the
look
mirror?
at her, but
okay. You don't have gunplay though, do you?
no.
Okay, so you are going to be at -4, which is basically an offhanded attack.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll. Your target number is going
Actually, what is she doing? They're both going to say.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
So what she is doing, you see her, she's got the bow.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a quiver or anything. She holds the bow, pulls back the string, the drawstring, and as she does, this like translucent green energy like arrow appears, and she is going to aim at.
Damn it, Dungeon Master!
Oh, she's aiming at you.
Okay.
So basically, when she makes the motion to pull it back, the arrow just appears.
I'll try to interrupt.
Okay. Yeah, you can interrupt.
And I'm going to try and strike blind.
Ooh, on her.
Oh, on Ola. No.
That might actually be helpful.
It could be, but no, I'm going to try and strike blind on her.
Okay. So how does that work again?
Okay, so I'm going to roll, and I'm going to create the difficulty for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. I got a 10. I also had like 4 9s.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
10 pops, yeah.
No, that's the only one pop though.
Hey, all right.
Nice.
All right, 23. That's high enough. So she is gonna make a vigor check at difficulty 11.
Oh, okay.
You gonna smite a bitch?
No, struck blind.
Ah. See, I like it.
Target number of 11.
Yep.
Chipped it away.
She's fine.
Chipped it away. Oh.
Yeah. You see her kind of like pull the arrow, and you see her eyes kind of like flash, like this weird glow around them, and she just kind of blinks and focuses on him.
Okay.
Okay. So Olaf, you can make your shooting check.
That's nice. Nice thing.
Wasted a chip of this.
Okay, just 15 minus 4, 9.
9. Okay.
The first shot
Okay.
is a,
And you're taking 2 shots at her
yeah,
from a peacemaker.
yeah.
Okay.
And second one's gonna miss.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll for your location on the first one.
What type of dice is that?
Oh, well, actually, D20 for the location.
D20 for the location. 20. 20.
In the head. And she has... before you roll your damage,
Okay.
instead of 3d6, it's 3d4. She has armor on her head.
Damn scales.
La, 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 la.
No, just roll an 8 and have it. Four.
Well, you should probably roll a four-sider because the 8, you might not be able to tell if you aced or not.
Yeah.
Well, I figure 1 to 4, and then the 5 through 8 is 1 to 4.
But then you're rolling 2 dice.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
No. It's not 2 4s. That's how I differentiate.
Yeah. I'd rather you roll a
Yeah,
four-sider.
because there's a difference in probabilities between the dice.
Not really, but anyway. Okay, a 4, a 3, a 1, 8 altogether.
Okay. You rolled a 4 on your
Yeah.
damage?
On one of the dice, I rolled a 4.
Pops.
Pops that. Okay. And another 1 point, so 9.
9? Okay. Let's see.
No, even if you do it 1 to 4, 1 to 4, you're still gonna have.
Yeah, but four-siders roll differently. That's a lot different than having 8 sides.
So, okay.
Shit burn.
All right. So you shoot her, seems to graze her scales. She shoots you and will hit with this arrow. So you can try and spend your highest action card and dodge if you can beat the roll she made, which is a 9. That would be your target number to dodge.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Do you have the skill dodge under nimbleness?
You drive a dodge.
Nimble.
Center column down.
Yes, I do have dodge.
Okay. So if you wish,
Yeah.
you can spend your next highest action card.
Yeah.
That's your vamoose, and then roll your dodge. If you get a 9 or better, you dodge the arrow. If you don't, it's going to hit anyway. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh wait, for weights. Popped. 15.
Okay, so you sidestep it. Like zips right past you, and as it hits the wall, it just kind of dissipates in like a little wispy kind of cloud-looking thing. It just. Okay.
Okay. Cult check.
Huh?
A cult check on that type of arrow.
On your next action, you can.
Okay.
So, all right. That was queens, kings, or jacks. Other way.
Mine's gonna go with the sleeve.
Going up the sleeve. Okay. Tens. Okay.
I do have gunplay and
Okay.
trick shot. So
Yep. Gunplay is a trick shot.
this is with the sharps, or not the sharps. Excuse me. The damn it, or dragoons.
Okay.
So 11. 11's my highest. So
Okay. You're taking one shot or two?
probably 2.
Okay, so the first one will hit.
Okay. Second shot is 10.
Okay, so they're both going to hit. So, locations?
Ooh, that was a. How do we do locations? I'm sorry.
Okay.
D20.
Return of the special die. 16.
16. It's been so long. There it is.
Yeah.
16.
Yep.
Okay, that's upper guts. Let's see. You can't move it anywhere
move it.
important.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll location for the second shot.
10.
In the gizzards. Right in the heart.
I'll leave that there.
Okay. So your dragoons do 3d6.
Dragoons do 46.
46. Okay, so it's going to be 44.
D4s. What, do I have any D4s?
It should be 3d6.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Yeah.
3d6 is Peacemaker.
I don't know.
Almost all pistols.
I didn't adjust it. That's what I wrote down from the book. So
Let's see. Colt dragoons. It says 3d6 on the game screen.
I don't know, man. I can drop it a die, or that's not a
Yeah,
problem.
it is 3d6.
Did I have them specially made or something like that?
Maybe, but if you didn't mark it down, I don't remember. Like, I have all the stuff for Copperhead's guns marked down.
4, 5, 6, 7. For the first bullet.
7 points?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that was
Was that one shot or
one shot.
that was all together?
That would be one bullet.
Okay.
And then for the next one, it's 5d4 because you got an extra dice for the... Or, no, it is 4d4 for the next one because you got an extra dice for hitting her in the gizzards.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. So, it's another wound.
I just blew a chip off her, guys.
Yeah. She does take a pretty good shot to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and she kind of hisses
Yeah.
and she kind of recoils.
Oh, I blew a hole in her. She's hissing.
That was 10s,
Yes.
9s.
All right, I sit down the lantern,
Okay.
and I get the blanket out.
Time for a nap. Okay. So,
No time to woo her. Come on.
yeah. Copperhead is going to take 2 shots.
I know what you're doing.
3d12. Oh boy.
That's why I'm making sure there's no light.
20. Should have called a shot, damn it. Let's see.
NPC number 8 sent us another gift.
No,
Oh, thank you,
buddy.
NPC number 8. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh, there it is, the bottom. Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you, NPC. One of our favoriteest fans.
Place your bets on how the Gorgon's gonna end, guys. If she does.
We might just turn her into a pet. Good Gorgon.
Okay, so he does another shot to her chest, mostly kind of bounces off.
Right.
So she's like, yeah. And you did that. 8. Copperhead's gonna put that up his sleeve, actually. 7.
Shooting again.
Okay.
Okay. Gosh darn it, come here. Get over here. First shot. Jeez. Oh, that sucks. So first shot's 11.
Okay.
Second shot is... Oop, got a pop. But I need to roll. I got 2 more dice I gotta roll on that one. So 1 pop. 24.
On the first shot?
Second shot.
Second shot. Okay. Go ahead and roll locations.
Location on the first shot is the 13.
Harm?
Okay. Second shot. Oh, sorry. You know you're ready for the second.
No, I just said just even or odd. So, okay, second shot.
Second shot is 9.
You can put that in the gizzards again.
I will.
Okay. So 3d6 for the one and 3d4 and then 4d4 for the one in the gizzards.
So I had 2 pops. So all these together, right?
Yes, those add together.
12 so far. You see that?
I like it.
They just popped again.
That's sweet. Yeah, 2 of them popped, right?
Those 2 popped before, too.
So that's 20.
So 25.
25?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the first shot.
Okay.
The second shot is 2d4, right?
44.
Or 44.
Gizzards.
And that would be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8?
Yep.
Okay. So. Okay. So basically, that first shot, she's got the bow, and you basically blow off her right arm. Oh God! Holy crap! Goes, hits the wall. She hisses, and immediately starts backing, like does that snake, like wrap around herself and starts going back upstairs.
Oh shit. Wait,
So
wait.
She basically takes off. The second shot, as she's going, hits her right in the middle of the back, but it doesn't really do much.
Oh,
So,
she's moving.
so she goes up. Out of sight. 6s?
Anybody have cards left?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Copperhead's like, damn it. He's going to start running upstairs
Yep.
after her. So he's going to start moving. 5s?
4.
I have a 2.
4? Okay.
Chasing. Chasing after.
3?
Put up your sleeve.
Yeah.
I already got one on my sleeve.
I'll put one in my sleeve.
Copperhead runs by Namroff. Bastard. Just keeps running.
Punch him in the...
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Punch him in the junk!
Just tip them over.
Yeah. Okay. That would be...
2s.
Oh, 2s. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you want to...
Can't-
Do we turn in all the cards even though we got one up our sleeve, or...
Yes, because we got to
Keep the one
reshuffle.
sleeve.
Not the ones up your sleeve, but everything else, yes. I'm going to cast Phantom Finger.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now, the one up your sleeve has to go on that card's number, right?
No.
No.
It just goes
It
whenever.
just means you can interrupt somebody, but unlike a red joker, you have to beat them in an opposed quickness check to interrupt them.
Okay, fair enough.
Red joker, you don't. You just throw it down and say, I'm going.
For all you watching, that's how it works.
Yes, yes. Okay, so next round. Oh, that's
So 12, I get an additional card, right? I get
1, 5, 10. Yeah, so you get 3 cards for that.
Black Joker, bad, right?
Black Joker, you lose that and your next highest card. Or
Casting a spell, though.
oh, if you get a Joker, it's backlash. So
Okay.
if you're casting a spell and you drew the Joker, you might get backlash. Well, if it's a Black Joker, you will get backlash. I'm sorry.
But will the spell go through? I can't remember that.
Maybe. Depends on the backlash.
Don't be whipping out your mana towel again. Scared poor Kelvin to death last time.
Okay, so Black Joker. Where do I go for that to figure out what it is?
You got your Huckster's book?
Yep.
Toward the back is backlash table. Got a big picture of a guy blowing up, I think.
Oh, I didn't bring any explosives with me this time. Damn
What a
it.
wise move. You take the whole house down on everybody.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It's called the extended backlash table. It takes up like a 2-page spread.
Okay.
So roll d20.
15.
Roll. Go ahead and read it out.
Manitou uses the conduit form by the hex to wreak havoc on the possession of the huckster. You may steal a small valuable item, ruin a functioning complex item, or chew through the strap of a saddle. When the hex is cast to help utter the possessed members, the Manitou instead chooses possession of the target. The hex succeeds.
So the hex succeeds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's going to cast on her. Then it said possession.
Yep. I know what's going to happen.
Okay.
So what are you doing with Phantom Fingers?
Well, with that, it's still wild, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a wild card.
So I got 3 of a kind. So I can basically the weight of a person.
Okay.
I was going to use it on the blanket.
To do what?
Basically, I'm going to use it to fly through the air and wrap around her head.
Oh, okay.
That was my plan.
Okay. Well, you do. You fling it up the stairs, and it does kind of get tangled up.
Well, I mean,
Around-
yeah.
Well, the hex succeeds.
Oh, okay.
So it does what you want it to do, but her snakes are kind of writhing and kind of keeping it off her, but it does kind of distract her.
Yeah, okay.
And you're like, ha ha! And your mirror just shatters right in your hand.
I see the Manitou in the face.
Yeah, the Manitow's like, snap. Damn it. So you just lost your mirror.
That's
Did you
okay.
have any other mirror? Did you have a bullseye lantern on you?
I had a lantern, but I put it on the ground.
Okay.
I had the bullseye lantern. I snuffed it.
Well, your lantern goes out too, because it's a possession of yours.
Yes, it's true.
So it's basically your mirror shatters, your light goes out.
Good luck.
Yep, pretty much. Okay. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody got your cards for the new round?
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Yep. Sorry.
What do you roll again? I'm sorry. The
Quickness.
Quickness, target number 5.
this doesn't add up, right? This is just
It popped.
Your
but it
highest
didn't add
stat.
up. Yeah.
Nothing ever adds up except for your damage.
Damage.
So
But pop.
you got a 6.
same here. Highest I got.
18 this time.
Ooh.
15.
Okay.
I did a little bit of stretching.
Yeah.
6.
All right.
So that's what, 4?
Yeah. Participate in 5, 10, 15.
Okay, what'd you get?
15.
You got 15. Okay, what'd you get?
6.
6.
6.
6.
You're drawing on your own deck for
Yeah, I draw from my own deck
And
for
what did you have? You had
NPCs.
15, so that's 3?
4.
4?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
4. And then 2 for the rest of you?
Yep.
And if you drew a Joker
Wow.
for your spell,
Yeah.
don't forget to shuffle your
Start
spell.
me in.
back.
I do.
Yeah, we'll get 'em.
Yeah.
You gotta shuffle it every time. So
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Is the ace the high card or the low card?
Ace is high.
Ace is high, so high to low.
and I have to go back.
What's your first card and your highest? Mike, what's your highest first card? Queen. Okay.
No,
I drew you.
Queen. Oh, I do have a queen. Oh.
Oh, look at there.
What NPC number 8 put Goonies never say die?
They don't say diet either.
Oh,
I'm back. My battery went down on my phone. Oh no. Yeah, he posts little pictures for us all the time.
That is so cute.
How do you do that, NPC 8? Because I've never been able to figure that out on my TikTok when I'm playing with it.
I mean, a slight break. Sure, it's your advice.
Do we want to wait for Mike to get back, or do we want to go ahead and do aces? And
Aces.
Okay.
We'll start with aces.
Aces. Okay.
Chasing after her.
Okay. You get up to the top of the steps. She just rounds a corner. Roll your cognition, though. Target number of 9.
Oh, Cog, where are you at? There it is. Target of 9, you said?
Yes.
9, 8, 9, 10. So yeah.
Okay. As she rounds the corner, you can see there's a window at the end of the hall, so there's some moonlight coming through. She rounds the corner. Her left arm is growing back. It's a little smaller, but it's getting...
Use my good hand.
Basically,
Sorry.
she's regenerating her arm as she goes around the corner.
Shit. Am I within striking distance?
You could, but you're going to be at probably minus 8. Actually, minus 10. Because you're running, she's moving, and it's dark in the hallway.
Right.
So minus 4 for fire or running, minus 4 for target
Well, I'm not. I
moving.
was going to try to chop her head off. Or my saber.
Oh, she's way down the hall.
Oh, wait. She's moving fast, then.
Yeah, she's like
We're
a
all at
snake.
the bottom of the.
So,
Well, then I will prepare to shoot.
okay. So, are you going to continue running down the hall, or
Well, I have her in sight, right?
you can try and take a shot now? But again, it's going to be minus.
No, I'm
10.
gonna wait till.
Okay. But are you running down the hall, or are you stopping here to shoot?
I'll move a little bit further down.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get a
That's
better
what
shot.
I need to know if you're going to
Yeah.
stop before you shoot. Okay, so
I will move a little bit further down and then stop to shoot. So
so that was aces, kings.
Yep.
Win?
Yeah.
It's 1d6
Yeah, run
for
up.
every wound you take.
Run up the stairs.
How do you,
Oh, how do you
Okay.
figure what your spirit?
You kind of see the same thing he did.
okay.
So, well, actually, make a cognition check. Just tell me what you get to make sure you see it.
I picked my good figure, so just
12. I got 9.
Okay, so you do see the arm is growing back as she rounds the corner. So, if you want to try and get off a shot, again, it's minus 10 to your roll.
Well, I'll try a shot.
Okay.
Make it lucky.
So she's
So what am I rolling to make the hit?
It would be your shooting pistol,
Right.
slithering down the hall with a sheet hanging off her head
pretty much.
and her arm growing back.
And it looks like the sheet is probably starting to slide off. So
I got a 7. Am I having a minus on this or not?
minus
yeah,
10.
minus 10.
Nope.
-2.
Total miss.
Yeah. So you pull off a shot, doesn't work.
Okay, thanks, NPC.
Queens.
Oh, wait, I got a king.
Oh, you got a king.
So these guys have started up the stairwell or anything?
Yeah. Those two in Copperhead chased her up the stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna start moving up the stairwell just at a casual pace there.
Okay.
As I'm going up, I'm pulling out 2 shotgun shells and I'm gonna try and concentrate them for the Gorgon that is currently within the Miller Mansion.
Good.
And I
Okay.
only have to spend a white chip for that.
Cool. There you go.
And hopefully.
Come on, Cobb.
And I'm doing 2 shells, so my difficulty is 9.
Hey, look at there.
Yeah.
2
All
points.
right.
I made it.
Cool. All right. So those shotgun shells are now consecrated against her.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And then you said queen.
Yep. Queen.
So then I'll get my shotgun out and I'll load those up.
Okay. Sounds good. Jax.
I had a queen.
Oh, you had a queen. That's right. What do you want?
She's all the way up the hallway. They ran up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
And then so I'm all the way down back in the kitchen almost.
No, you're at the bottom of the steps because you all came into the parlor.
Okay.
You and Paul are still standing there, and Paul is just white as a sheet, and he's not like you guys, so he's probably like, "What the hell do I do?" You know, he's kind of panicky,
Yeah.
but he's fine. He's not like, oh my god. But he's just like a normal dude who's like, what is
He's
going on?
pooping as he bricks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're not red.
He's building a brownstone.
You get a selected brick for that. Oh, I hit this.
Hit the
I
light,
hit
I
the,
think.
hit the light, yeah.
Saved by detritus. Oops, sorry. Station.
That's the lockpics.
I was trying to arch it and almost hit the map cam.
So shit.
Jeez.
I got a pair. I attempted a shadow walk.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
He shows up right
I thought he was getting a shadow walk behind her and
Copperhead just plugs him full of lead.
yeah, just bags her from behind. I mean, with the sheet, not the way Bo usually bags from behind.
I have to see how far I went.
NPC at number 8. Oh shit.
So I can go 5 yards.
Okay.
Yep.
That'll be enough to get you upstairs at the tail end of these guys, pretty much.
Yep.
So
Okay.
you end up at the landing, and they're almost at the top of the steps.
That's fine.
Some of these guys are at the top of the steps.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that.
I had the bag too, so did that break too or not?
Nope, he just chose what he broke, and it was your lantern and your...
Okay. Mirror.
He's like, good luck trying to look at her. You can keep the bag.
Yeah.
You might need it for your own head.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so, all right, Jax. Copperhead is... He's going to try a couple shots. Let's see. Oh, gunplay. Minus 10. Shit. Okay. One of them goes wild, the other one hits. He rolled a 19. In the tail. I guess it would be.
Right in the butt.
Right in the butt.
$1 million wound.
And does jack crap. So you see it ricochet off her hip. The scales. So the next card. Let's see. Yeah, he uses gunplay. Sweet. Okay. He uses his gunplay. You actually see him like spin the gun into his holster and immediately grab the one from the back of his belt and pull it out
Nice.
in one move. So he just basically, and it's still running down the hallway. So that was his 10s. 9?
Yes, I have a 9.
9. Okay.
Okay. She's going down the hallway, or where?
Looks like as you get up there and look, she went right around the hallway. You can see the tail. You see the bullet ricochet off her hip, and her tail just kind of around the corner. So her tail is still there by the time you get there.
Is she a person, or is she bigger than a person?
She's the person size, but her tail is much longer.
All right.
But
Can I use my phantom fingers to whip her back out?
You can try.
Okay.
Like yank her by the tail and pull her back into the hallway.
Yes.
You can try.
All right. So that would be an opposed.
That
You got to
would be-
cast the hex.
That's
I have it going. It's ongoing until
Oh,
I just cast.
it has a duration.
It has Phantom Fingers has 1 win per round. So until I ran out
Oh,
of
okay.
wins.
Yeah,
But I'm at that level of a person.
it's called
right.
a bitch no hex.
that's fine.
Yeah. So yes, so I'm gonna try and basically use my
Okay, so it's going
and
to be
that is the hex Phantom Fingers is spirit, so I'm assuming that would be my die strength.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then she's got to roll for her strength, probably.
Right. So. Get over here!
Thanks, Scorpion.
I got a 7.
Oh! You go to grab, and you can feel like her tail. You grab it, and she basically like scuffles back and then pulls forward. You both got 7s.
Oh, it's
so
like
she
that.
just stops.
Yeah.
So her tail is still there. And as soon as you do that, you hear and you see that tail tip like a rattlesnake. Yeah.
Doesn't like that.
Okay.
Don't help her shake it.
Interesting.
Shake it, baby.
Maybe she'll just be like, "You're the one. Come here."
Come here.
Just let Bo sleep with the monster.
Finger.
That'll
I don't have to look at you. I just over here and imagine what we're doing.
It's like the Captain Kirk of the Wild West. It's weird.
See, do you have a picture of Timber Rattler?
So that was 7? Right?
Yep.
Or 9?
That was 9.
9.
8s? Oh, sorry. 9s.
Okay.
Let's see. So this will happen right after you grab her tail. So
Uses her tail to grab you.
We're telling a tale.
So the use of cards in this game is how we determine our actions, obviously.
yeah, initiative is based on cards.
This is based on cards. So the higher the card, the faster you go. The lower you go later in the game.
And chance comes by roll and by cards. So pretty well rounded, really.
You're peeling up.
Ah, you're filling up a snake. Yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't be the first time.
At least it's not a trouser snake.
That comes later.
Well, it does come later.
I remember Bill mentioned something in his sleep about still warm.
Oh, that snake bit me. Ooh. I have been known to fight with my snake as well. We better watch it. It is 18 plus, but we don't want to get anything else offended.
Bo,
Yes.
as you yank the tail and notice that, yeah, I got her. She stopped. Her torso comes back around the corner. She has one of those arrows, and this arm is like kind of
Gross.
glistening.
Little baby hand.
like glistening, like it's the skin hasn't grown back. And she's thunk. And you notice when she plucks that, if you guys remember the movie The Clash of the Titans, the old one, you hear that twang,
Yeah.
like really loud. When she does it, that's what it does. And you actually hear it.
Now, I had not seen her before, so do I need to roll to stone? Do I need to...
Oh, yeah. Are you using your... Well, you're
I
not
don't have a
using your
mirror.
mirror. Okay. Well, this is going to get interesting. So, first of all, let's see. All right. So, I'm going to roll her main versus your spirit to see if you make eye contact with her.
Okay. So I roll my spirit.
You roll your main.
My
Or
main.
you roll your spirit. I'm sorry. She'll roll her main
Okay.
to get you to look at her.
I rolled a 7.
You two are meant for each other. Roll again. No way to...
Oh, jeez.
Okay. You rolled a 3. You both
Okay.
rolled 7s. So basically, she comes around the corner. For an instant, you're like... And you just catch that camera flash, and you immediately avert
at her
your
boobs.
eyes. Yeah, look at her boobs, and they're bouncing. You're like, oh, I'm safe.
Much better.
And then she just, twang! You are going to take an arrow to your
Me.
chest.
Oh.
So if you wish to dodge, you may.
Okay. Since I don't have a card up my sleeve, I can't do anything else. So all I can do is dodge.
Yeah. And
It still requires that moose card.
yeah,
though.
do you have a card in your hand?
You have to use a
Yes.
card.
You'll have to spend your highest card and then roll your dodge. And it's going to be versus her number that she used to hit you.
I got a 5. Did I hit or not? Did I make it?
She rolled a 7, so you need 2 more.
All right.
Spending...
Don't spend a red. You'll get one.
Ah, damn it.
It's always not really though.
Blue.
All right.
All right. So then I roll 7.
Okay.
12.
So you, it's like that. Oh God, boobs! I'm saved. It goes down the hall and
Hit somebody else.
like
No,
that.
I'm kidding.
dissipates through that. Well, he was the one in the back, so good thing. Okay, so there's that.
Hey, I was.
Okay, and she used the 9 to fire 2 shots. The other one totally missed. So.
Okay.
Okay. 8.
I'm going to use my card up my sleeve and shoot at her
Okay.
before she reloads.
Yeah, good idea.
2 shots.
Actually, you know what? I think Copperhead's going to use a card up his sleeve to shoot at her too, but it's an opposed quickness roll. You're
Right.
not going to interrupt her immediately. So everybody roll quickness. Well, you two in the Gorgon, you're trying to outdraw each other. So let's see, quickness. Where's my other one?
I need to put together a Deadlands set of dice. Cause
Yeah, it's like this.
get another case and set it up for that. It's an orange one.
And
Well, one originally anyway, but they're out of orange when I went to order. So I got a red.
yours is
I need to buy a different set for Noir though.
Different.
Just different colors.
Well, I mean, why a different set? It's all Savage Worlds.
Just so I can have some different set of colors.
what'd you get, Ron?
I got 10.
This is like crazy.
Is it matching up left and right?
No, she rolled a 22
Oh,
Jesus.
and Copperhead rolled a 19.
Oh,
So basically, you guys, it's almost like you're gonna go last. So
Right.
she
Fair
gets to go first.
yep.
So she is going to try and shoot at probably you. Well, actually, I'll do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, she's gonna shoot at Bo again.
Look at my boobies. That son of
My eyes are
it's where I got my fingers down.
my eyes are up here.
I know, and I don't care.
And the paladin
I'm a very rude man.
Where's Bo at?
At the
Behind
rear.
us.
Yeah,
So he's by me then.
yeah,
Okay. Can I wait to see if she hits?
yeah.
If she does, can I interfere?
Yes, she is going to hit right in the gizzards again.
Okay.
I'm going to use my highest card, and I'm going to step in the way, and I'm going to take the hit for him,
Ooh.
and then I will use my next highest card. I take it that's the. Do I need to roll for that?
No, you're just stepping in front.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then I'm using my next highest card, and I'm casting Retribution.
I'm not. Oh, okay. Activate Cobb.
Yeah. Pulling a hex or because Job did that once,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it was like the most awesome thing ever.
And I did it with that vampire.
You did.
one.
That's
NPC just said, wow.
Retribution is awesome. Good
Retribution
timing.
is amazing, yes.
Okay. Especially
Okay,
when you got one
so-
card after another.
Yep. There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
So
So I should probably.
this, ladies and gentlemen, is when you activate a player character to go God mode.
Da, da, da.
Listen
Okay,
to
well, I guess you can go ahead and roll her damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
And don't forget one thing. I mean, I don't.
Your Bob Ergens, your
Don't
Bob?
forget, I have one body type higher, so I'm 7.
Okay, good. Okay.
So I don't know if that's if you're counting it his body type, since that's the damage being done, or
No, if you're taking the hit, it'll
Okay.
be off your body type. So.
Yeah, that's
So.
Blessed is he who would lay down his life for his fellow man.
And sling back the damage like a rubber band.
And if he survives, it's gonna be epic.
I don't know what rhymes with epic, but dipstick.
It's a flick.
Okay, so
Oof. Oh my god.
I gotta also survive this. I've got to survive the attack too. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn you, Cobb.
Oh, you okay? Got it.
Okay, so how many wounds do I take?
You are going to take 4 wounds,
Oh, 4 wounds.
but because of her size, she's taking 5.
Oh, so she's a 6.
So she's lower than me.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a body size 6,
Okay.
and it works out with 5 wounds because it was aimed for the gizzards. For 5 wounds to the gizzards, it's going to maim her heart. But you only took 4 wounds by like 2 points.
Okay, so I'm not.
So you have a better chance of surviving
Yeah.
than she does.
Probably shouldn't have told me that though.
Oh, that's
But yeah, so yeah, I'll just take all of it then,
yeah.
and then she takes all of it
She
back
takes
as
all.
well.
So,
So what is it like when it hits him? I guess what is it?
okay, yeah, because it does hit you. What it does is it basically, as it hits in, instead of disappearing in a wisp,
Like, no,
No, I'll take it. I'll take it. I won't take it.
you guys see this glowing green arrow, and it looks translucent and almost like this sickly green. Hit Cobb in the chest, and as it goes in, instead of the wisp of smoke, it almost like instantly his shirt is kind of ripped open, and you see like an infection,
Ooh.
like green tendrils, and it goes in and kind of like turns into an acid or a poison that goes into his system. So his chest is green and kind of,
Tenderly.
following the veins and stuff.
Right.
And basically, you are going to, well, did you?
I'm gonna take. I took my win too.
Yeah,
So I had 16. I took 16. So I'm gonna pass out.
you're going to pass out. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, so you take the hit. You guys see that,
And I'd probably say something in Latin or something like
right?
that.
Yeah.
Dominus stupidus.
Yeah.
Dumbassus.
Damus Bowen.
I don't think there was an entity.
Okay.
What did he say? He says, take the kids to school.
Okay, Brad, make a target number 9 vigor check.
Ooh. 2 pops.
Ooh, good.
9.
9. Okay. Well, you've already taken your wind. Normally you take 2d6 wind plus whatever the damage is, which we've already figured that out. And you didn't fail it. So that's good.
The vigor check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you because she is basically going to die right now because it went right through her heart. If you would have failed, it's 3d6 wind and -2 to your traits for 1d4 hours. So not bad, but it's a toxin.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but you guys see that arrow hit, and he just and collapses on the ground next to Bo. And she basically hisses, screams, and you see her body like slam into that window, breaking it. She doesn't go out the window, but she just slams into it.
I
There's
still got
a,
a hold of her.
there's a table. Yeah, but her body, you're just holding the tail.
Oh.
Yeah, you just grab the tail.
Oh, okay.
You can't grab Phantom Fingers is your hand. But she slams into it, breaks a table that's there, and she just starts screaming, and she hits the ground, and she starts like jittering, like she's having a seizure, banging on the table and stuff like that. And
Shoot her.
basically, she, as soon as she does that, she just kind of lays still. But,
Shoot her anyway.
well, you guys had...
Yeah.
So basically what she did was like, I'm going to shoot that horny son of a bitch. Ting! He jumps in front of it, takes the arrow as you and Copperhead just bow, 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 bow.
Unload on her.
So you can, but it doesn't really matter. She's
fine.
dead, but
Yeah.
I would say between the two of you, as she's having the seizure, you're shooting parts off, So
As
basically,
she's going down, we're just unloading.
yeah.
our
So
rounds into her.
yeah. So basically, she goes to the ground and lays there still. I will tell you. Well, I'm going to roll for Copperhead because he was going to aim for her neck.
Joseph Blazer veins on. I found the cock's alive.
Hey, all right.
Hey, that's our Raconteur lady's husband,
Oh, cool.
Hazy Witch.
Welcome.
Oh, yes. Hi.
That's her man.
Oh, man. A man.
Her partner.
Okay, so let's.
Her partner.
Oh yeah, you did.
Had to go back to Facebook and start at the beginning.
Okay. As she's dying, Copperhead actually pulled the shot off, or two of them, right in the neck. So it takes two big chunks out of her neck. So it's almost like bleeding profusely. And it's like this blackish, greenish ichor. It kind of sprays and it's. So she's like almost being beheaded by his bullets.
Okay.
So she dies and is bleeding out.
I'm gonna run up there and chop her head off with the saber.
With the saber? Okay. You chop the head off. Yeah. So as you do that, you notice she's face down, but you're not taking any chances, I'm assuming?
Oh.
Okay. So you can...
I'll aim it up, close my eyes. Wow.
I use the last of the round to like fling the bag down towards his feet
Okay.
and then let that go. And then I'm going to cast Disrupt on him for the poison. And I got 3 levels.
Okay. So what does Disrupt do?
It will cancel. I'll read it.
It will make him
Gassy. For
very, very gassy.
3d6 days.
Against favors or miracles. There's no much it can do against Source of Disrupt spell. Used against instant spells like Soul Blast and Howler, the permanent duration, like Helping Hand or Bitter, basically stops it. Some hexes with instant long-term effect, like Frostbite, in case Disrupt doesn't remove damage from the Frostbite, but it does negate the double wound modifiers, like if it's an ongoing poison.
It's against favors and miracles and hexes.
It will not work against favors or miracles.
Okay. Does it say anything about... Because it sounds like it's against hexes and stuff. This isn't a hex.
No, it will do any harrowed power, ongoing hex, harrowed power, or black magic spell.
These aren't any of those.
Okay.
this is natural or whatever.
Well, actually, no. I suppose it would be a black magic spell for her.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it will work on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So you rolled, cast your hex.
I got 2 jacks, which is a level 3 opposed. So
Okay.
I don't know
All right.
how powerful her.
It's a venom arrow, so it's not overly powerful. So it will probably negate all those, like the extra wind you would have lost.
Yeah, well, I've already
Yeah,
still.
but you've already lost.
But it stops the poison is the main thing. So
Yeah, and that's all it would have done because you rolled his vigor. So, but anyway,
When I come back, I'll be feeling a little bit better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have more wind than normal.
Yeah.
Probably.
okay. So
Cut her head
Like
off
the
and bag it.
the
Yep.
hour forwards, you would be out.
I look back and realize the Cobb's down. I'm like, oh,
as
shit.
you basically pick up the head and go to put it in the bag, you can feel the snakes are like changing.
Whatever.
Okay, everybody else who's can make a
I'm trying not to
cognition
look
check.
down at all.
What kind of check?
Cognition check, if you wish,
I'll focus. On
especially if you're looking in your mirror at what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not looking at anything. I'm just feeling my way.
16.
16. Okay, he didn't make it. As he's putting the head in the satchel, snakes are turning to hair, and as he lowers it, it's Laura's head. It's her face and everything. And you notice that the body is losing its scales behind him. So it is reverting to
Well, couldn't say
Are
the
the
woman.
scales coming off of the body?
kind of, they're like flaking and then kind of falling to the ground and kind of turning to ash as they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grab some.
But it looks like her body.
And got the head.
Yeah.
The rattle dissolves.
Thanks, NPC.
Okay.
So yeah, as you put the head in the bag and kind of like, anybody who looks, it's a female's body, headless.
She's no longer a Gorgon. You're safe to look at her.
Oh, this ain't gonna look good on us, though. Now I got a dead woman's head in the bag.
She started it.
She did, technically. So yeah, you guys defeat the Gorgon. Good job.
No one actually shot her at first. She shot me, and then somehow it just.
Yep.
It escalated.
She got hurt.
Rebounded.
Okay. So basically, you guys gather all that up. What are you gonna do? Cobb is out for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, even healing wise, I'm going to be out for weeks.
I think what we'd probably do is take him.
You'll probably wake up here in a few hours, like kind of groggy, but you're not going to be wanting to get up.
Well,
And do
I'm gonna be. He's alive, but barely. Damn fool!
What I'm planning on doing is getting him somewhere safe,
Getting back to
burying the body, burning that effing house down.
kind of what I was thinking.
Those are the three things I'm doing.
I'm going to try to revive the doctor by taking the vial and
Oh, Dr.
topically
Namaroff?
apply.
Okay. So you take some of it and kind of dab it around his lips and like nostrils, like kind of the membranes, like he said, the softer.
Yeah.
So you put that on there. Okay. Let's see.
The softer membranes. No, the lips.
In these cases, give Cobb some beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll get him up. No, good strong whiskey wakes him up.
Okay. As you do that, you guys probably get Cobb downstairs. You're gonna drag the body downstairs, wrap it up in the sheet.
I'll keep the fan and fingers for a few more rounds, so make it easier.
As you guys finally get Cobb carried downstairs and get the body downstairs.
Oh, I wrapped Cobb in the blanket. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I'm joking.
Okay.
You put my head in the sack.
Oh, I missed. I'm so confused.
As you guys kind of gather up to leave the house,
Hi, Carl.
you do notice you hear something hit the ground, like something metal, and you look over and Namaroff dropped the sword and lowered his arm, and he's got like silver gray hair, and his skin is still very, actually, literally pasty,
Ashy, yeah.
and he's kind of like, and trying to like move, and as he does, you hear click click, and there's Copperhead. He's like, Doc, you might want to just stay still, just for a bit. And he just kind of looks and sees the body wrapped in a blanket sheet, bloody, and you see him just look totally defeated.
Good.
Did the bow disappear too?
Yes, the boat has disappeared. So, okay.
During that, though, can I do one more thing?
Sure.
Can I go through my hunch, like holding her hand, the thing, to figure out what happened?
You can try.
I will try. I will say a prayer for her. I know Cobb would want me to do this, dear. Not anything else.
Yeah.
It's still warm.
Not even gonna go there.
And then how is
There is a neck hole.
Still 3 holes.
no.
No. Okay. No. Either you don't know if she's too far gone, or maybe there's something, but you don't get anything from it.
Oh, yes, we have run into stone in other games. If you go to our YouTube channel, Carl, you can see the games we've played of this.
Yes.
We have them in our playlists, and we have ran into stone a few times.
I spoke back to him and lived.
Yep. Yeah, you did.
Were we recording back then?
Yes.
Yes.
I think we were. Yeah.
He actually recruited us a couple of times.
Yeah, we did a job for stone once.
Yeah.
Conan was the other one.
Not proud of that fact.
That's my creation, Mr. Black.
Yeah. So, okay. So you guys kind of gather up the bodies, gather up everything else, get Cobb out. That evening, I'm going to make this short and sweet. You're going to go back to the house or wherever. You're going to rest up. It's going to come to light. The sheriff's going to show up, and basically you guys confront him and Namaroff. Yes.
Boy, do we.
Namaroff, this girl came, reminded him of his wife, had blackouts. He thought he could cure her and have his wife back if he could convince her from powers of suggestion to fall in love with him again, and he was going to be happy. He found out that she actually had an affliction and followed her one night on her blackout and saw what she became. He knew enough of the cult to stay away from it, and when she came to, he thought she was gone. She reverted, came back to the institution complaining about another blackout, and that's when he put 2 and 2 together. He usually tried to keep her safe, try and hypnotize her, or try and drug her to keep her home, but it didn't always work. Sometimes he'd go in to check on her and she was gone. The windows would be open, whatever. So he was trying to control it. He wanted to keep this quiet until he could actually hypnotize that out of her, if it was even possible.
Did she even know how that became to be? Did they do this to her up in the manor? Or is she always like this?
From what he could tell, and from what pieces he could learn from his hypnosis, she is directly related to that bloodline somehow, and it manifested in her. So she would be like Euralia's great grandniece, and because that blood was so potent,
Right.
somehow it was transferred to her bloodline, and it skipped all these generations, maybe, until it got to her. He doesn't know if she, with amnesia, he doesn't know if she has sisters, she has any relatives. So he doesn't even know. There might be others out there afflicted with this, but he would never be able to find out.
Carl says he's running a Hell on Earth campaign.
Ooh,
Toluca, Illinois?
Yeah.
Toluca, Illinois.
Toluca. Oh,
He's another Illinois person.
Hey, all right.
We're up by Peoria, buddy.
So anyway,
We also have cards.
Nope, I'm out.
the sheriff pretty much comes clean. Namaroff told him to keep it quiet, and he was at his loss. He was like, I don't know what?
Copperhead punch him.
No, he doesn't punch him. He's like, he was a victim of circumstance. He's like in way over his head. You got to remember, these people aren't like you guys.
Right.
Well, it's just a Gorgon. It's like, what the hell do I do? So he agreed to keep it quiet, to keep the panic. He never really realized that it was Lara, but he knew it was somebody. He always thought it was this crazy lady in the asylum, but he never knew it was actually Lara.
Well, in that case, I wouldn't be burying the body. I'd leave it to them to take care of it.
Yeah.
And then,
Paul is very distraught, but he's not, oh, the love of my life, but it's like, oh my God.
But apparently he had like a pheromone power over them.
Yeah, it was more like a main, like overall.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pheromone, but it acts like a pheromone.
Yeah.
So that's how Namaroff was kind of enamored with her anyway, even though, besides that.
That's
Even
kind of
Paul
what I
was
figured too.
right?
Yeah. Huh?
Paul was too, in a way. Wasn't he?
Yeah, unknown to her, she was doing it to
Yeah.
Paul because she actually did feel feelings for him. And it was unconsciously, it was the Gorgon trying to lure him in.
Right.
But she was actually in love. You're like, oh, you poor man, and he's very handsome. And she's like, she herself probably had feelings for him, but it was the Gorgon taking over.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Oh, by the way, Doctor, we've got your Nimrod of an assistant that tied up in the cabin.
oh, yeah. Hurst is basically going to get arrested. Namaroff and the sheriff are going to basically, the sheriff is going to have to arrest Namaroff. He's like, we got to do something. And he's actually going to step down as sheriff, and Deputy Marsh is becoming the new sheriff of Boldbridge.
that's awesome.
Dr. Meister will take over the institute. And as you kind of recuperate the next day, you're just like, oh my God, I partied too hard.
I still won't.
There's a wonderful plume of
No.
smoke.
It takes like a week.
There's a wonderful plume of smoke
Yeah,
going
but you
up.
can.
Or
So, well, there is a stagecoach arriving, and you guys can take, like, most of you guys can ride along, but you can get him in the stagecoach. The next morning, as you get out there, the stagecoach does arrive, and there is somebody getting off the stagecoach with a suitcase, and as he gets off, he's a priest. Kind of tall, kind of lanky. He's older looking. And he speaks with a New England accent, a little slight New England accent. He looks like, are you guys familiar with the actor James Cromwell?
Yes.
Okay, he looks like that. And he gets off and he's like, oh, good morning.
Father.
Yeah, Father, are you all right?
They're probably carrying me out.
Yeah, he's like, are you all right?
They like to beat up the priests here. You might want to have
He actually kind of smiles and goes, I get that a lot where I'm from too.
Don't worry, Padre. I do believe we're giving you a clean start. Yeah.
You might want to consecrate the old lands up there. The new sheriff will let you know how to do that.
Yeah, see what those that fire's burning off there in the woods? That's where you need to consecrate.
Well, I would just send it on the church.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's in good order. I looked it over earlier.
is everything taken care of here?
Well,
Is now.
sure it does need a preacher here to look over the souls of the townsfolk.
The Lord never lets me rest, but that's fine. My name is Haskell, Father Job Haskell.
What?
He's like, the priest at the church passed away, and I'm from San Angelo. I on a mission down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I promised I was friends with this priest, and when I heard of his passing, or when he knew he was not doing well, he sent me a letter to kind of take over his flock for a bit until they can find a more permanent replacement. So I decided to come here, and I'll be here for a few months at least until they find a replacement for him. It's the least I can do for a friend of mine.
I'm going to hand him a business card. One of Felix's. If anything strange comes up, Father.
He actually looks at it. He's like, "You know this man?"
We're his employees.
Associates.
Yeah.
That also.
Interesting.
Again,
I've heard of his name.
if anything strange comes up,
And how's that?
I've encountered some others, much like you,
really.
who have been acquainted with him in some fashion.
Well, you don't have a floor to lead, does he?
Well, if there's something strange in the neighborhood,
I say that.
He kind of pauses, like, "Yes, well met." And he asked for introduction, like, "And you are," you know, you all introduce yourselves. He's like, well, it seems like I'll be home away from home here.
it's just as weird here, man. Just as weird here.
Probably play the coach for $10 or something. Just hang tight. We're gonna get Cobb all settled up and kind of brief the father what happened.
There you go.
Throw him in the
He's
luggage
strapped on the
compartment.
very back of the, on top of the trunk.
Just
on the
drag him
back
with the
end,
rope
yeah.
around his neck.
Okay.
No, but fill him in on what.
Okay. Yeah, and he seems to be like, oh, and you're talking to this guy? He doesn't seem fazed by it at all. He's like, "Oh, really? Well, that's interesting." Mm-hmm. And Job has theology, so he's all talking about like, oh, the Greek mythology is what you're talking about, like the three sisters. One, Medusa, was famously cursed by Aphrodite, and he rattles on all this stuff that he's like, "Oh, I've read about that." Yeah. So he's kind of like, well, after a while, when he's kind of comfortable with you guys, he's like, "Well, I don't mean to pry, but do all the preachers here carry guns?"
Well, in our group, yes.
Well, we're fighting for the Lord. So, yeah.
You say we're mostly on the front lines.
Pacifist, you know.
Sorry.
You say we're on the front lines, sir.
Yep.
There's many front lines, my friend.
Indeed.
The front line of brute.
Of Groot?
A brute.
Of Brute?
I'm Groot. I am Groot.
Line of fruit. Ooh, okay.
But to tell them too, like those statues probably need proper burial and everything else. So
Yeah, they were people at one time.
Yeah.
The ones that don't look like they're crafted are people.
and like the woman, she needs burial as well. So
We'll see.
Her head's over there and her body's over here.
Oh, yes. I expect that. He's like, well,
there'll be a lot of work ahead of you, but still.
Well, I must have been sent here for a reason.
Ordained by the good Lord, I guess, sir. I'm glad that you're here. Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you. Well, hopefully we'll talk again soon. I would like to meet this Felix. I've heard much about him. Or
Anytime you're in Memphis, you're more than welcome.
it's not that far away. Maybe I'll visit for a day.
Please do.
Please do. Indeed. I'm sure the good
Oh,
Father would mind
my arm!
mind a visit, or maybe you need some items brought down from the church.
And as he's meeting you guys, and Frank Copperhead's like, Frank Smith. He's like, Smith. Nice to meet you. And he shakes his hand. Copperhead's like, what's up with that? And he just kind of has this like, Job has this look like, you're who?
You're who? Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, interesting. You from around here? You sound from the north. He's like, well, yeah, I'm originally from the north. Why do you ask? He's like, oh, no reason.
Don't forget, he may have talked to Philip Morrow too. So
Yeah. So he's like, interesting. So, well,
He pulls a gun out. What are you talking about?
well met.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Now don't do that. I'm a pacifist.
Yes.
So anyway, this is the new reverend for this church for a while. And
That's cool,
he
that's
looks-
cool.
I always wanted to bring Job in. I was like,
Character from a long time ago, folks.
Yeah.
San Angelo.
And it's funny because I mentioned the church was waiting on a new priest at the beginning. I just made that up.
Oh.
I just did it
Oh,
on the
that's
fly because I'm like, I don't want to deal with a preacher. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
I got a preacher we can put in there.
If you don't mind, I'm bringing Job in for a little while, so if somebody runs
Well, he
something.
doesn't stay here, although
No, he won't.
it's not like it's unlikely we'll ever get to continue.
Before we leave,
Well, like I said, it was for a couple months, so as long as we need to.
on our way out, I'll actually ride back to the. Or he just goes to the church, doesn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
As they're leaving out, I'm going to go back to the church and I'm going to make a donation to his church.
Well, thank
I'll
you.
let you know how much.
Okay.
in chat.
He's like, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Right off.
I'm gonna leave all this dynamite here for you.
He's like, you too? You have a prospector uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Except this one doesn't drop them all the time.
That's true.
No, I like them and hold on to them and watch the pretty sparks.
So does he, in his back pocket sometimes. You don't have a lake around here, do you?
All righty.
Okay. So you guys all pile in around the stagecoach and head back to Memphis, and you can take whatever you need to. Copperhead probably actually still has that finger, the stone finger.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, souvenir for Felix.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
So he's going to take that back.
Me too, the head.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys can go back to Memphis, go back to Felix. He's interested in the stories and all this stuff. And if anybody mentions Father Haskell, he's like, it doesn't sound familiar. But I've known so many people in my time.
That's okay. He's got your card.
It's okay. Cool. Thank you. So, and you guys can recuperate for a little while, and everybody else can kind of go back to the regular humdrum lives of
There you go.
Battlers of the
Supervise
Rangers.
my house being built. And...
Okay. So there you go.
All right. Well, that's it for us tonight, folks. We got stuff to get through real quick here. Make sure to come back every Tuesday night. Check out our social medias to see what we're playing. You can find all of our social medias on our Linktree. If you want to see us on other...
Sorry. Bounty points.
Oh, bounty points. Sorry.
Let's do that real quick.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Everybody's going to get 5 bounty points
Okay.
for defeating the Gorgon. And then let me know about your chips so I can award you for role-playing stuff.
Chips. Chips spent or...
No, hindrances, I'm sorry. If they came into play.
Mine did.
Almost, you don't want to get rid of your
I got...
Hindrances.
tension or injury.
I have... that doesn't work. Eagle Eyes, I use that a lot.
No, hindrances.
Oh.
The bad part.
Haunted. I did have that.
You did have that. I will give you, I'll give you a red chip for that.
Okay.
Because it did throw your character for a loop.
In that case, I'm going to turn that chip into a brownie point because I can't keep. It's got to balance out to 10.
Those are worth 5 if I remember right.
A white chip?
Oh, I thought it was a red chip.
No, white.
Oh, okay.
Blues are 3, reds are 2.
Right.
I don't remember. Let me look it up. God, it's been forever.
What'd you say you gave me? A what?
A red chip.
White is 1, red is 2, blue is 3.
You get a red chip, just put a red chip down. If you turn it into bounty
Oh,
points,
I'm going to switch out a red chip for a red chip. That's what I'm going to
you
do.
get 2 more bounty points.
Right. So it becomes 10. So my actual chip balance doesn't change. But that's the only hindrance I got.
That's the only one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got renown, contacts.
That's all bonus.
That's
Yeah, it's all-
Those are all.
Yeah. I bought off a lot of my hindrances.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's like not having hindrances, you don't get as many bounty
Yeah.
points. So it's kind of like you want to keep hindrances to make your character
I think I'm
interesting.
new hindrances.
Yep.
Would you like to be an alcoholic?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get points for
He gave up Randy. I hear that's open.
Yeah.
Andy's open.
Yep.
All of a sudden, Kelvin's screwing everybody in sight. I don't know what's going on.
Life's too short.
But anyway, go ahead
Okay.
and do everybody else too.
Okay. Well,
Well-
who wants to go next? Cobb?
All I got was I have cautious, heavy sleeper, and lame.
Heavy sleeper at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment.
Lame is probably the only thing. It's
Yeah.
not really. It don't matter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
They didn't really come into play too much. Who wants to go next?
Well, I had the. We actually forgot at the beginning of this thing 2 weeks ago to roll for my night terrors.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have them tonight.
And for the next 3 months.
Just
Yeah.
automatic for the next session.
Yeah.
Curious, which I was trying to
Yeah.
look into
I'll give you a
things,
red
and
chipper.
they both gentle with the ladies, and I had an interior dialogue going. Okay, she's a lady, she's a monster, she's a lady, she's a monster. Ah!
We're the same.
Okay, she's now a monster. Okay, fair game.
So it didn't really come into play, but I am going to give you a red chip for curious because you got kicked out of the sheriff's office because you were like so curious about, well, you got help with murders around here? And everybody's like, shut up, shut up. And I thought that was funny that Olaf, because he's curious, couldn't keep quiet
Shut
about
right.
it. So yeah, I will give you a red chip for that. And Bo, did you get?
All I really had left was vengeful, and I was not. I could have cured the guy with the disrupt.
Yeah.
But I was going to. I didn't really get the dialogue. He'd already put the stuff on his lips.
Yeah.
I did before I could say anything.
Okay.
Like chips.
Because I was going to say like, that guy had killed all these people, and he just let him be part of it. But
Yeah.
we didn't get to role play that out, so it's
Is that everybody?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, the only thing, oh, thank you. I'm not giving him points for that. Mean as a rattler for Copperhead just because he beat the shit out of the orderly that was giving him the eye earlier.
Right.
That's not really anything.
All right, folks, if you want to see us on other days, you can go to our YouTube channel where we have all of our live streams are stored, and you can follow the storylines and all the craziness by looking in our playlist. We have them all sorted by day and time and year. So, and we've been at this for over 30 years, but we've only been streaming for 4. While you're on our YouTube, like the videos, share them, and subscribe, and you will know when we post it. We'll let you know when to post a video. Now, did you also know that you can meet and hang out with us? This year, we are guests at Planet FuntCon at the River Center in Davenport, Iowa, on June 28th through the 30th.
Last weekend.
And also we're returning to the Big River Steampunk Festival in Hannibal, Missouri, August 30, 31st, September 1st and 2nd. And it's a special one. Big River is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Yes.
And boy, howdy, will it be a great one. You can find us at the Renaissance Fair area, as well as hosting our live shows at the Gaming Arena at 225 Broadway in Hannibal. We have a lot of other great events coming up this year, and check out our YouTube video descriptions to see what those places are. You can get links to where they're at. Now, doing what we do is fun, but it is also a bit expensive. So if you'd like to give the Raconteur Society a hand, jump on over to our Linktree. Our PayPal link is on our Linktree. You can go there and donate money, and if you do, we will make sure to give you things and talk about you as much as possible.
NPC number 8, thank you again for your...
And I said, yeah, isn't that right, NPC number 8? He is our only subscriber at this time, but now he has given us all kinds of good things, and we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Real quick, Carl said no muckraker to tell the tale to lower the fear level.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, not this time.
But I will tell you that if you told Job the whole story, that's what his first sermon would be, because that's what he did in San Angelo. Whenever they fought something, he worked it into a sermon.
Right.
To lower the fear level. So now with the Miller Mansion gone, that's going to be his sermon about letting go of the past and don't give in to fear.
Right.
So just so you know, the fear level will go down.
Which is
I'm not
why
gonna tell him, but I don't think I'd be bothered doing it out there.
Yeah, and then I got hurt really bad, and I need a drink.
that's why I went ahead and bring it down.
Yeah.
Thank you to
Chompy.
Dale for running the game tonight, to the Dragon's Den for hosting, to Mike for the technical prowess and investment, and thank you to Bobby Dupuy for doing all of our clips and edits to our videos, and the rest of you for gaming tonight. Thank you to Anastasia for checking up on our streams and giving us our people that are posting and what they're saying. And a gigantic thank you to Pinnacle, the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, for making Deadlands.
Yeah.
Make sure you visit them and buy their games. You can find the link to all the game manufacturers of the games we play in our YouTube videos descriptions.
And just so everybody knows, Deadlands Classic is pretty much out of print, but they do have Deadlands Reloaded for the Savage Worlds line, and you can get on their site, and for free you can find all the stuff to convert back and forth. So whichever game you prefer, if you are playing Savage Worlds reloaded Deadlands, and you want to try Classic, go to their site. You can download the rules for transferring it to Classic.
There you go.
And give it a shot. Or if you're vice versa. So.
Well, that's it. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. Be sure to check out our Linktree again, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.